Nuance. That's me. I'm the nuanceiance of nuance. You know what? I still haven't played Animal Crossing today. I could totally play Animal Crossing while playing. No, probably not while playing Skyrim. I'm gonna do it after stream. Play games. Let's click a button. What am I clicking? Shit. This button? Yeah. Oh wait, we'll just go to this one. Howdy. Here. You know, maybe Diamond and Pearl will never arrive. I'm kidding. It will arrive eventually. Hopefully. God. Hello? It's okay. Nope, still out of focus. There we go. I like video games. Am I clicked in? No, I'm not. Da-da-da. My wifey? Nah, get out of here. I ain't no wife. I wish. How you going, Ezra? Where I recall it, the guy in the show said, "So desuka?" Okay, but now I'm doubting myself while the dude in Baldur's Gate 2, okay, he's talking about Baldur's Gate! Oh my god! Everything makes sense! I thought he was talking about a TV show! Oh, that's fucking, I don't, okay. Then I compare it to how you'll change your words in sentences as you read them. Insult. Then I compared it to how you'll change words in sentences as you read them. I should have preceded it with insult. Like how I start off my lies with lie, as I learned from RPG. Okay. Still doesn't quite make sense in my brain. Give me a second, I'm still trying to process. Wait. Then I compare it to how you'll change words in sentences as you read them. Okay. Yeah, so that's where I'll be like, it says you can do this, and you're like, I said can't, Hannah. You can't read, and then it's like, okay. I should have preceded it with the insult that he said above. With like how I start off my lies with lie as I learned from RPGs. Okay. 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 Okay, I think I understand. He's gonna come to stream and just be like, oh, Hannah, how do you struggle to understand? I mean, I'm just glad that I was close to Soresune. I assumed that was like, isn't that so? Is that right? Like, it's the same, but with like a different inflection, like the different way. Anyway, video games, people. No. Hi. Wow, I come into this channel and you're doxing our private messages. Yes, it's not the first time, and it won't be the last. You need to have sometimes, Peter, I really struggle to understand like the context. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm trying to understand. Like you kept saying your guy was saying so desu, and I thought, what did you say? I don't even know. I don't know. I didn't understand it. I'm glad I vaguely understand it now. That's what people tell me the most. It's okay. I always like it because it's like, I don't know what you're talking about and I get to just find out. It's just a part of the fun chaos behind it. Wrong way, we're going this way. It's okay. I was like rereading the sentences over and over again, so my brain's like trying to put it together. Show game. Wait, so you watched a show game that explained what Sordesne means? I'm just glad I was right. That's all I want to know because I wasn't 100% sure. I couldn't 100% remember. Get him. Yeah. I couldn't exactly remember what Sordesne meant. I was like, what's the proper definition? Because obviously the one I sent you was sort of like, is it this? Which is basically this. Now I feel like a genius. No, show the game. Oh shit. I am the smallest brain in existence. I don't want to talk about it. Shh. It's fine. Small brain. Small brain. That's what we're here for. Small brains and even smaller. Nothing appropriate was coming to mind. Hands. Hands. Let's say hands. I do have very small hands. Ruby can testify. Oh no, they're dead. Not really. Get him! Who gave you a dwarven sword? Someone's been doing horrible dealership. Smithy? Oh. Okay, well. Seeing the game is overrated, you're right. Show the game as we can see it. Now I feel like a genius. Immediately cut that down. Hello! That looks lovely on you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
And I think with the glasses, it's a nice touch. You look really cute and nerdy, and I love it. Good. Pants?
The leggings I can pull off, but
I think it looks okay, but I mean, like, are you concerned? It looks a little sporty or work, but I don't know what else you could do.
trekking's on. Hell, warm, you know?
Yeah. Well, we could always go. We could go shopping.
For tomorrow. For what?
Well, not for tomorrow. You know, like on the weekend. Or Google. Go on Google. Go on Google and be like summer work, like corporate wear. I got you. Fun story, I'm pretty sure inside this door there's just like 2 people lying down. Like they're just locked inside. Oh. What were we talking about? Now I feel like a genius. See? I told you. There's just people lying down. Like, if I didn't unlock that door, was he just gonna sit there and do nothing? I was wrong. It was only one person, but I was close. I'm pretty sure there's one place where you unlock a door and there's just... Oh, I don't want steel. I want silver. Damn, that was vicious. Smack. Silver. Perfect. So it is ne. It's cool that you absorb stuff like that from watching anime, I presume. Oh yeah, absolutely. I've also played a lot of Persona 5. I really enjoyed playing Persona 5 because obviously it has the Japanese voice going over the top and then reading like normal anime, but it's a game. So they say a lot of like phrases over and over again, and I'm always trying to like match like what section of the sentence they're saying that like reflects what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like the order of it. Your dwarven arrows are mine. There's only like, obviously like, there's only like, okay, simple phrases that I probably understand. In saying that, I've always been curious to see like, if I, you know, if I went to Japan and was like listening to the conversations around me, like what would I and wouldn't I understand? It'd be a lot I wouldn't understand, but if someone was having a really basic conversation, I'd probably be able to do it. Wasser. I was thinking about something. What was it? Not all this. Like something I wanted to do. Did I want to like? I didn't mute. I didn't. I'm in Discord. My phone maybe? Where is my phone? My purse probably. Let me grab my phone. I like in Yakuza where the main character says "Ikitakimasu" and his eating companions repeated extensively "Ikitakimasu." But the sub-translation is as "Who's hungry? I am." Well, that's interesting. Because "Ikitakimasu" is like one of those things where it has almost like multiple translations, and I'm not 100% sure about which one's the true one. Because from my understanding, "Ikitakimasu" is "thank you for the meal," right? But some people have said, you know, "thank God for this meal," or, you know, like they have like a real religious connotation to it. And then others, as you've said there, is like more like neutral, where it's just like, let's eat. Like it has a very simplistic meaning. So either it has multiple different translations, or it's just used in very different like different ways, or maybe it depends on the context about the inflection that it's used in. Don't go on that. I don't know. Oh, I swear.
That'll teach you.
Your silver swords to back on me. Ohio.
That's your best,
I think you're getting a little ostentatious, but alright. Put your arrows away, Swede. Yeah, it's something like, I humbly receive. But in like the who's hungry I am, you know, that's quite a, I want to say like an arrogant statement. It's a you know, it's quite presumptuous, like let's eat, like it's just like, it's not really like humbly receiving something either. I mean, maybe it depends on the speed of which you say it, you know, like, I don't know. So, should I join you on your Discord now? I mean, you can if you want. As long as you're respectful and abiding by the Twitch TOS. I say that, I have Mysterious come in, so... we try our best. And yeah, first time I saw a translation was, let's eat. It's just really amusing to me that they use the phrase twice in a row and translate it as two different things. Basically. Just looks over here in case he does join. I don't know if he's joking or not. Oh, I forgot to be checking these guys for any silver on them. Ooh, orcish. I decided to just keep playing Skyrim because I wasn't gonna do an Ocarina of Time rando. I just wasn't vibing with it. Next week. Respect and TOS? You know, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Hello. Who gave you Daedra Gama? I'm gonna have to report to your authorities. Here I thought it was special that one person having it. No. I know, I'm hurt. Just watches them batter me to death. It's got the helmet. Do I have the helmet? What do I have? What am I wearing? Ah, I don't need the heavy armor skills. Now I can be cool. I like how there's a broken horn on one end. I don't know if that's normal or not, but here we are. Grab the... There we go. Hello, human being.
Good evening.
How's it going, dude?
Pretty alright.
That's good.
Oh no, I have to hear my own voice. I stream.
Ah, yes. The highest form of self-validation. Well,
Nobody likes hearing their own voice.
I like hearing my own voice.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten used to it a lot of like, back to 2016, probably would have pulled my hair out, but since then I've edited a lot of videos, so...
It's bad enough that other people have to hear my voice. Doesn't have to be me as well.
That is fair. Should have joined during Ocarina of Time because I have nothing to add to Skyrim. Switches to Ocarina of Time. God. Oh, last night was horrible. But then, okay, I don't know if you read in my Discord. I'm gonna talk about this anyway. So last night I was trying to find, I just needed like a scale and everything would have like unlocked. But I couldn't find the scale anywhere, and we find out right at the end, like after like 4 hours, that the scale was in something that I thought I had disabled. Like I thought I disabled that particular hint when it wasn't disabled. And anyway, so I felt
Which
horrible.
was it? Which one?
It was in the forest. Sorry, Lost Woods. Deku Mask. The skull mask. And anyway, so it's after stream. It's like literally like just as I ended, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna roll myself a new seed and I'm just gonna have some fun. 2 hours before I go to bed, and then I'll go straight to bed. And within the 2 hours, okay, one, I started off with a medallion, and I've been doing like 4 medallions required. So I am by the end, within half an hour alone, I had Song of Storms, Saria's song, Boomerang, bombs. God, what else was there? Something else. Like, I had so many items. I had bow after like 40 minutes. And iron boots.
Oh, no.
And I had all of the clues I needed. And the only thing I needed to do was, light arrows was 50 skulls. So the game was basically just giving me everything that I wanted, and all I had to do was like go on skull hunt, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so like within like the whole within the 2 hours I had like 3 medallions. The next one was literally lining me up to do Spirit Temple, and I was only missing I was missing strengths and a scale again, strangely enough. But I was doing so well on this random one, just, you know, like just for like barely 2 hours, and I'm like, damn, why couldn't this spin the stream?
I was playing a high randomization one the other day. You know, key sanity and all the settings.
Okay.
And it looked like it was gearing up to be an all dungeon seed.
Yeah.
And just as I did my my 5th temple, I had it set to 4 dungeons for a bridge.
Yeah.
And just as I did my 5th temple, I got Ganon's key, followed in the next chest by magic, which allowed me to just finish the game right there.
No, there you go. You're like, just leave it.
You use the desktop application to make your seeds, right?
Yes.
First off, why?
Because I like it.
Okay.
I don't have to go on the website. I can just like double click on my page and just bring it up.
Okay. Because the website is really useful. And also, have you updated it recently? A while ago, 6.1 came out.
Yeah, I was looking. I looked for an update because I found out about that when Estantia gave me like the settings, and I was like, this, like, I tried putting the seed into the thing and it didn't work, and I tried looking for an update, and I couldn't find an update. So maybe that's on me. Maybe I was looking in the wrong place, but I couldn't find a place. Like, where I was looking, it only said like version 6 and there's 6.1, but I'll probably have to look again at some point.
It's like, I think you need to do the standalone version if you want to do your own music, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, I'm not sure if there's actually an advantage. By the way, I have your game muted. If I'm talking into one of your cutscenes or something, just tell me to shut up.
It's Skyrim, it doesn't matter. I've played this 1,000 times.
Okay.
And Peter, it's nice to know that you like hearing your own voice. I like to hear it when people like do have that level, like weird level of acceptance.
I have too much self-hate for that.
Maybe one day, dude. Good for showing.
Nah, I'm not gonna improve.
You never know. Showing someone who's excited to eat. In its origins, it's similar to saying grace, but for what it is now, there's really no common equivalent in English. So you have to kind of localize to something like let's eat if you're not being overly literal. Oh, I hate everything else about myself. I know, and that's why I like hearing.
Don't get too flowery.
I mean, I found it always translates really well into thanks for the meal.
My poor Fralia thinks
Yeah.
we grey mains got just as
Like,
much
that's how most things handle it.
Yeah. Well, that's often what I think of it as. I kind of want to go around just saying "so desu ne" to people. Adara and I were having a great conversation earlier. We were just bursting into laughter. Just, you know, just talking about like hypothetical situations, like if Adara and I actually worked together and like people overheard the conversations we were having, because I swear I have the best conversations when we're not streaming, because we're just crazy stupid.
Hypotheticals, like my constant marriage proposals.
Yes.
Gonna get you one day.
No.
One day you're gonna open the door when it's ringing, sign for this package here. I'm gonna pull off a fake beard to reveal my real beard. And it's gonna be a marriage certificate.
I'm instantly, well, one, nothing, I've never gotten a package I've had to sign for, so that's gonna be an instant red sign. And two, if anything, it's going to be like, how did you track down my location? I'm going to have to arrest you. Oh wait, I went to the wrong place.
Not again.
Marriage? Who? What now? Erzon just likes to be flowery? I don't know.
I like to shitpost is what it is.
Yes,
if we
that's
are
a better
completely honest.
Thank you. Your shield siblings have withdrawn to the Underforge. I think
Everyone knows you can't marry Australians.
Exactly, because they don't exist. Hi Wolves, how's it going? But Australians can marry Australians, that's the goal. I don't...
Being moonborn is not so much of a curse as you might think, Vilcus.
that's fine for you. But he wanted to be clean.
But yeah, with Ocarina of Time, I could have been like, do this trick, do this glitch,
But all that was
jump over there. With Skyrim, it just, I mean, I guess you can left click that guy.
If,
And that's not what this is about.
if you want me to switch to Ocarina of Time, I can.
No matter our own
I wouldn't dare to tell you what to stream, honestly. Play whatever you feel most comfortable with.
And he deserved it.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna be
Outland
vibing.
used to speak of a way to cleanse his soul.
Or you're in favor of same country marriage?
You know the legends of the tomb of Iskramor.
No, it's more
The
like,
souls of the harbingers will
I don't
keep
know how to
all
put it.
the
I
wards
want,
of
oh, I know how to put it. I want to like,
and it's in pieces
I want to
like it
stay
has
in
been
this
for 1,000
country.
years.
All of my family's here. I'm very orientated to like Australia, obviously, if it exists. If I married someone from another country, they'll probably be like, oh, let's visit like England like once a year, or like they'd have obviously like these dedications to like their family and stuff, and they want to go visit them. I don't want to do that. I don't really want to get on a plane or anything.
What I'm hearing is I need to kidnap your family.
No. It's a little concerning.
As the one who bore the fragments, I think you should
And I
be
don't
the
think
one
that would
to
be a
do
very
No.
simple task.
The rest of you, prepare to journey to the tomb of Iskramor.
It's Australians, how difficult can it be?
You're right. First, you just have to make sure you have you're double vaccinated to get into the country, and maybe, I don't even know if they're letting people do that.
I mean, considering the plan is to kidnap people, I don't think the legalities of entering the country is like the biggest of the problems.
You get like blocked at border security. It's like, so why are you coming into Australia? And you're like, I'm here to kidnap people, like dead seriously. And they're like, okay, we're having to arrest you here.
And not just one or two, a whole family.
Yes. And then I get a phone call who's like, this person is claiming to know you and wants to steal your family. I'm like, oh, this idiot. Okay, he's just delusional. Please put him in a psych ward.
In a psych ward?
Yeah, dude, they're really fun. They have fluffy walls. Worth it.
Terrible. Did you start with the alternative start
I
mod?
did. Because fuck the
Nice.
normal stuff.
Which life did you choose?
What did I choose? I might have done, I think I did companions. So what happened was, I did a stream of this, like the day it came out.
Welcome to the center of the world.
And in that stream, you know, like I walked around, I just kind of like vibed, tried to find some things, you know, and like I like walked around, I joined the companions at least, and like whatever. But then when I booted up the next day, it kept crashing and it wouldn't let me into the save, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just start a new save, and I activated like the alternative life thing so I could kind of just like speed check to the place I wanted to get to. So, yeah.
My favorite start was always to start as a warlock's thrall and make myself north to the mage's college and learn magic myself to plot my revenge.
Nice. I think my favorite starting I ever did was, like, a part of it just felt really realistic, and that's what I liked about it, was that a little bit south of Riften, there was like, you will, like, I did a random start and it was like, you were like beaten up, everything stolen from you and left for dead, is the premise. And it happens somewhere around here. So like in my brain, like I was kind of like, you know, narrating it in the sense of, you know, the person like gets up, they're left for dead, and they rob the first person on the road and they get their good stuff, and then you make your way up here, and then suddenly this person's, you know, Brynjolf, you know, comes to you and he's like, haven't earned an honest coin in your life, have you? And you're like, no, I haven't. And then you join the Thieves Guild. It just, like, if in some weird way, I feel like that's like the most like realistic starting for something like the Thieves Guild quest,
nice.
because you've literally come from them. You've been robbed and you're like, fuck the universe, I need to rob to survive.
I wish the game had a few more consequences for your choices.
Yeah.
Skyrim is a little bit of you can do everything, but nothing really matters.
Yeah. That's definitely...
You can become like the fucking archmage, and then you join the army and they're like, well, you're nobody, you can start at the lowest rank. And I'm like, I'm the archmage. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of cool, like when you do the main quest line, like once you're proven as Dragonborn and you try to enter the college Winterhold, you can be like, oh well, I'm Dragonborn, and they'll be like, ooh, Dragonborn.
I wish things would exist, like if you join the Thieves Guild and you're like a known member of the Thieves Guild, that the college wouldn't let you in unless you have become a mage before becoming a thief.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Have you ever played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines?
No, I don't think so.
It's a game where you play different kinds of, or you can play as different kinds of vampires, like just how in Skyrim you can pick different races. And you have to hide your identity as a vampire from normal people. That's the masquerade part. And one species of vampire, the Nosferatu, are so incredibly ugly that if they are seen on the street by normal people, they will immediately be seen as unnatural and like vampires. So you cannot be seen on the street if you pick that class. And because you pick that class, you have to spend a lot of time, instead of walking across the streets, you have to walk through a sewer system and stay hidden and out of sight.
Yeah. Because
of the race you chose.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's kind of like if you think about it, a really good example is like Dark Souls. With Dark Souls, it's very much like you have a starting class and like you can move into something, but once you've kind of like put all of your stuff into like a particular like if you're doing magic, you need to predominantly do magic unless you're planning on playing a shit ton of the game and end up like getting everything to 40. Alright, so we're fighting or something?
Let's do this already. I'm itching to kill something.
Oh, that's another thing. And Calvin is sadly not a good starting class.
A perfect
but
time for a
fun
dragon to attack. Sorry. We're about to
No,
like
don't worry.
fight, and I hear a dragon just arrive. Man, that person died way too easily. Was
The
this supposed to be
narrative of your stream has priority.
Yes. Where's the dragon? What the hell is this dragon doing? Excuse me, sir. What are you doing here? Fucking weird. Alright, time to pull out the crossbow. I have so many markers, I can't see where he is. Okay. I missed him. Crossbow.
And I wish, wait. So, if you pick certain races in Vampire, that has consequences for your playthrough, like actual consequences.
Okay.
And in Skyrim, like if you run around, everybody tells you how racist people are against the Khajiit.
Yeah.
Like people will tell you, oh, Khajiit are not welcome, Khajiit, nobody likes Khajiit. But then you play as a Khajiit and you can go into every city, you can trade with every vendor, you can sleep in every inn, and like it has no impact at all.
No.
Like the worst thing I think that happens is in combat, sometimes NPCs call you pussycat.
Yeah. There's just like, there's more like verbal aggression, but aside from that, there's no like real like, there's no sense of racism, which is good, but also like it goes against what the game seems to be establishing.
Yeah, and I kind of wish that, like, if you picked Khajiit, the game would tell you, hey, people really don't like Khajiit, this is gonna make the game more difficult. And then, like, you have to sneak into cities where you're not welcome, or something like that. Stuff that would actually make in-universe sense. And I mean, Bloodlines had that, and it came out in 2004.
Yeah.
And Skyrim came out in 2011 and has just nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Should I just get rid of the bow? No, I want to keep the bow.
And I think we talked about the combat system. Give him that left click.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about that. Because it's just... it's just a disappointment.
I also don't understand why you can't do sneak attacks with magic. I assume like a giant icicle into the back of your neck is quite painful.
Yeah, just insta-kills them. The end.
Mm.
I think for something like the icicle that would make sense, but for something that's more of a like fire attack, to like I don't like, you have to like, it is pretty hard to sneak with something like that when maybe you start with feeling the warmth and then you realize, oh, my shirt's on fire, and then you take the shirt off and then you turn it, and it's very obvious like where it comes from in terms of
this is turning into fanfiction.
Oh, no. No, we're not going that direction. Talking about fire, you know, stop, drop, and roll.
But, yeah, if you get a fire, like, if you're unaware and suddenly get hit with a giant fucking fireball,
Ew.
I think that counts as a sneak attack.
Yeah.
It's not like you put like a match into their shoes and light it.
I'm gonna stick with this armor.
Ooh. Oh, that's another thing that bothered me. I remember killing a dragon in Skyrim just outside the city and wearing the full dragon bone armor and then walking into the city, and one of the guards goes, "Someone steal your sweet roll." I literally just killed a dragon. What are you doing?
Yeah. I imagine they'll probably, well, I want to say that they'll probably change that a lot in the future.
I have no idea. Bethesda has this terrible tendency to take the role-playing out of their role-playing games.
Yeah.
They do that with Fallout as well. They're so worried about you being able to see all the content that they stop you from doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Fallout New Vegas?
No.
I highly recommend it. I think if you like Skyrim, you might like Fallout New Vegas as well.
I've just like the Fallout games aren't exactly my jive.
I would still recommend giving at least New Vegas a go. It's on sale pretty regularly if you don't have it.
Got to go.
Well, pretty regularly. Usually during the, winter sale is coming up. You can probably pick up like the all DLC version for like, I don't know what your Monopoly money is worth in Australia.
Okay. Give me a
Probably
second.
20.
We've received word of your victory over the rebels, and so has most of Skyrim. We expect recruitment to increase tenfold as a result. No one wants to side with a losing cause. As a reward, you're welcome to keep the champion's armor and weapons, judging by what you did to those turncloaks. I know you'll make good use of it. Legate Adventus Caesenius. Cool. Boring. I had already put the weapon or the stuff in my house, so it was already mine. I wasn't gonna give it back.
I was gonna keep that anyway.
Exactly, it is mine. Yes, the dragon stole my sweet roll. Sad times.
Like one of the things about
Is that another fucking dragon? Alright. God, Nahagli.
That was the thing that I also found funny about Skyrim. The dragon end boss, I forgot his name.
Other one.
Yeah, they hype him up as being this like super intelligent dragon commander.
And then you just kill him.
Yeah, not only that, but like he's like supposed to be a commander,
Go, horsey.
master of battle and battle strategy, and his strategy seems to be send singular random dragons to random fucking points on the map, and sometimes to a city.
Of course.
Like,
For that price?
what?
You know what? You
Can
have a
that be a
really
good
good
strategy?
point with that.
It's the little things, like when you join the Stormcloaks for like Civil War, and you attack with like 5 people a city that has 6 houses.
Go to Hendraheim. Don't grumble at me. You'll have a great time, Mr. Goat, traversing through the world. Well, you definitely have a very good point. I never really thought about that, but I mean, like, I want to say it's like one of those things where it's like,
It's a bit nitpicky.
yeah, like rabbits. I want to find the ramp. I already have the Spudo. Oh, so you're supposed to start off with this quest. That explains a lot. Skeever and Fox and Rabbit. Okay, cool. Like, obviously, like, it's a limitation of, like, of the system that makes it that way. I mean, we've seen what people try to do when they spawn in thousands of lettuces. Yeah, like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you kind of like wish that it had a little bit more like logical thinking in that sort of regard, but because it's unrealistic in accordance with like the engine and everything else, it's like, well, it'll never happen.
Yeah. Yeah, sadly Bethesda is also like kinda against updating their engine much. That's why, for instance, the big city, or a lot of the cities in Skyrim are behind doors, so you have to enter them. So it saves from memory from running around in the open world.
Yeah.
And like clearly, if you look at stuff like Witcher and whatnot, we are for a long time at a point where that's not needed. Like you can do that better.
Oh, absolutely. You should be able to just like walk up to people and have like open houses and stuff like that.
Hmm. But the point that I wanted to make about like missing content, in New Vegas, if you have a certain quest and let's say for some reason you don't like the quest or you don't like what you have to do or you don't like the NPC, you can attack the quest giver and just kill him, and they will be dead. And your quest log will say, "Good luck, good job, idiot. You failed this quest." But you can continue with the game.
Yeah.
Like you can keep going as you want. But if you play like Fallout from Bethesda or I think even Skyrim, if you try to kill an NPC that has like even the slightest of side stories, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, because they're necessary.
Yeah, exactly. They will just sit down and wait a minute and then come back up and go like, okay, can we continue? And why is it so important that the side NPC cannot die? I get it if you have like the absolute main story quest and don't want people to fuck up their main story quest. Okay.
But there's like a few more people other than that. Like, what if Serana died? You know, like, you know, like it's if you actually made it that if you made those people killable earlier, you're opening up the option to do, you know, like the Astrid quest. Like, I had no idea until like years later that you could kill Astrid and it opens up like a whole different like little ending, a less interesting ending, but it's an ending nonetheless. You know, like. It's that kind of thing where you're just like, oh, this is an option. Is it just a one rabbit in it alone? Why a rabbit alone? Why a sad rabbit? Notes on tamed rabbit. Feed Thistle a carrot. Their name's Thistle. Okay, I love it. Give me a carrot. I didn't bring a carrot with Pog. Come here, buddy. Yes, I love you. Good carrot. Teleport. Oh. Alright, I want you to also go to Hendraheim. We're gonna have all the pets in Hendraheim and my kid's gonna be like, I have a rabbit. And I'm gonna be like, yes, kid. Go take care of your rabbit.
It's gonna be for dinner.
No! How could you say that? Okay, south. South. Wait, that's west. South. Okay. Go up this way.
But yeah, I would kind of recommend giving New Vegas a shot. It's a pretty interesting game. Any specific reason why Fallout is not your vibe?
I just like I like Sword and Shield games, and not really gun games. I say that I played through Mass Effect 1 and 2. That was fun, but I'm slowly getting better at like shooting games, but I think like the pacing is probably a bit more different, while this is like, you know, just go up, slice, dodge away. The other one's like shoot and spray and you're like, shit, you gotta dodge around a lot more, and it's just like, please stop shooting. Just an endless barrage of bullets.
I have good news then. Nothing stopping you from doing a SWAT playthrough in Fallout.
I could do it. I could just all play with sword.
Yeah, you can. You can go full on melee weapons. You don't have to use guns. Melee weapons, some throwing weapons if you're into that. I think you have to care a little more about having, you know, decent armor and defense as well, because you have to get pretty close. But yeah, you can just put all your points into strength and HP and hit people on the head.
Nice. Because I know they had a little bit of that in Fallout 4 at least. Like, I found that iron pipe, and you can like min the iron pipe if you want. But there's also like the limitations to it, and you know, the expectations of using your VATS, and like, it's scary enough being near a death floor, you know, like. I think actually that's probably a better way of putting it. I'm not really super into like apocalyptic landscapes. I know a lot of people would say that Skyrim's technically an apocalyptic state landscape, but obviously the idea of like mutations and the world, like I like things in a little bit more of their natural state. I also say that there's monsters in The Witcher 3, but you can literally back up everything with a I think much I can really do about it. Dead.
It's just a recommendation to keep like in the back of your mind.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's always like one of those things where like, where like sometimes you'll come across like games where like every 6 months there's that part of you that reconsiders like, should I buy this game or not? You know, like with all the hype around, god, I've forgotten its name now. What is it called? The multiplayer game. The multiplayer game that's going crazy.
Which multiplayer game? What do you do in the multiplayer
like MMO,
game?
sorry. The
New
MMO
World?
that's been going crazy. There's fucking
Final Fantasy?
no. God, I wish I could play Final Fantasy. I don't have that sort of money. Oh god, why am I blanking? What is it called, guys?
What do you do in the MMO? What's it about?
I'm just gonna bring it up, okay? Because my brain is very small right now.
I think the most recent one was New World.
New World, that's what it is. It is though.
Yeah. I said that earlier, yeah, New World.
Like every so often I'm like, oh, should I buy New World? Should I play that? But
I played it, it's pretty shit. I would not recommend.
Okay. Well, that's the thing, like some people talk about how it's really shit, but then other people are like, oh, like it's an MMO that you actually can play single player, and that's something that I really would like. You know, like if I ever was gonna make an MMO, I'd try to make obviously not something quite like poor rabbit. Like I wouldn't try to make something exactly like New World, but obviously the general premise of
I just saw the rabbit.
Of like, you know, if you're in a group, things being balanced for a group, but if you want to play the whole game by yourself, then that should be an option rather than being like, oh no.
Nordic ruins, even older.
Yeah, in New World around level 20 you start you have to do dungeons that you need other people for, so it's not entirely as single player as people say. You can do a lot of it single player, but yeah, there's the content that you need to do with other people.
Some people are talking about how they've still done it single player, but yeah. Just because I don't have, obviously, like, I don't have a group of friends that like want to play something like New World.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Yeah.
Of course I'm troubled. We were excavating this old...
You can find people in-game, obviously. But one of the annoying things, they don't have a dungeon browser for that stuff. And some people are really into, that's good for the community. And no, that's just good for chat spam, looking for group, please invite. I hate that. I would rather just sign up for a dungeon and have the game handle it than me having to spam that I'm a fucking
like Terra?
range DPS player. Yeah.
I don't know if you ever played Terra, but Terra had that sort of thing where it was like there's a group and you just stand outside the front and just hope you get a group of 3 other people. Yo, hiya Stania. How you going, dude?
I get it if you don't want to do like one-click sign up, get teleported into the dungeon, but at least have like an in-game tool where you can put your name as like looking for a dungeon. You got raided.
Hi Gilded. Thank you for the raid, dude. Much appreciated. How you going, dude? Giving me a little a little jump start, a little blah 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 blah. How have you been, dude? I hope you've had a good day. Have you been playing more Dead Rising? Not Red Dead. Have you been playing more Dead Rising or something else? Where's the key? What is happening?
I literally don't remember most of the quests.
You don't remember them?
No.
I don't remember them. Probably most of them. Obviously, right now
couple
I
of
just
them.
need a key or something.
To be fair, the side quests are much better than most of the main quests.
That's fair. Oh. Happening here. Gotta be a button somewhere, right? There we go. Today the objective was whether I could beat it in one single sitting from A to Z if I trimmed out every single gram of fat. And I did! Well done, dude. Wait, I'm assuming you're talking about Dead Rising. I don't know what else it could possibly be. Very good job. Good job. Proud of you. I'm glad you're having fun with it.
Dead Rising is a good game, but I hate games with time limits.
I just don't like zombies. Wait, it does have zombies in it, right? I just presumed
It's called
never
Dead Rising.
No,
The chance is pretty good that it has zombies.
Okay, fair. Yes, it was Dead Rising. Okay, cool. I was forced to, because for the sake of making a YouTube video, I had to play the prologue, which, unlike everything else, was not repeatable unless you signed up to wipe your plot progress. Oh, okay. And also Dead Rising 4 doesn't have time limit. Well, there you go. That's good.
Wasn't Dead Rising 4 the one everyone hated?
Not necessarily.
Or was that Dead Rising 3?
Yeah, it was 3. No, that's locked as well. Where the fuck? Where am I going? Maybe I have to go back to the lady at the front. Maybe she gives me the keys. Oh, there we
them
go.
all yet.
Yes.
I assumed you were playing 3 because like all I heard about 4 is people,
Don't fall
like fans of the series saying how horrible 4 is. Apparently, they took a lot of the fun out and made it more of a like typical brown shoot a lot of zombies thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's for Dead Rising.
Well, I don't know anything about Dead Rising. Well, fuck everyone. I love it. Yeah, it's 4. Good on you,
These
dude.
doors
I'm
seem
glad
to
you're
be the
enjoying
only
it.
thing
Yeah.
left between me and the
Yeah, it's
treasure.
good.
There'd better be.
But yeah, the tone of the
There
game
must
is
be a way to activate these doors
like you
to bring
can
bones. Here, take this
cobble
key.
weapons
Shoot
together
these
and
on
craft like lightsabers or electrified bats and you know, wacky shit.
Sorry.
It's a very non-serious game. In a good way. And people really like that.
I have a friend who really wants me to consider playing Dying Light, because it's like parkour and zombies, obviously. And there's that part of my brain that's like, well, you know, like, logically, we just recently played through Back 4 Blood. Like, surely I would be okay with a game like that, right? Like, and I need to do more contemplating on it. I don't know if I'm actually gonna end up being like, yeah, let's get it or anything.
By the way, seeing you lockpicking, the way you lockpick in Bethesda games is also absolute nonsense. Considering how locks work, it's just so...
Oh yeah, no, it's horrible.
I mean,
Don't worry.
It's a joke at this point, but
I
like
like it better than Oblivion. I understand that people like the lockpicking in Oblivion. That's fine. But for my brain, I literally couldn't figure out. I remember sitting there for like 20 minutes trying to figure the fuck out, and I was like so upset because I was like broke all my lockpicks, and I'm like, I don't understand how this works. Our first Rodeo. Rodeo. Look, as long as you don't disarm me, I have no issues. Come at me, bro.
why do you have content for Resident Evil?
Reason I had a lot of content for Resident Evil. Because it's scary? No. Or it's like... I'm trying to think. My only frame of reference is Resident Evil. I've never played any of them, but the only one that I've watched a lot of is Village, because I really enjoyed watching people play Village.
haven't played Village yet. I played some of 7. 7 is good. 6 is absolute trash. I can highly recommend. I mean, you don't like scary zombies, right?
No.
I was gonna say I would highly recommend playing like the Resident Evil 2 remake. That's a really good game. If you can get over the scary, spooky zombie stuff, that would make a good game to play.
Sorry, wait, which game again?
Resident Evil 2 remake.
Okay.
But it's all the things you hate. It's zombies and there's shooting.
And it's spooky.
And it's spoopy.
Don't like the spoopy. Wait, where am I? Am I going back or going back where I came? Okay, we're back. Oh. Wait.
But it is a really good game.
Okay, we're good. Okay, that should have worked. Let me read. Ironically, Village is when I noticed Resident Evil was starting to give up. I saw the player fighting apes, predators, goddamn Transformers, so I'm like, no. You begin to see my point of view. And I was like, oh, now you begin to see my point of view. You mean in the sense, like, it's like more vampire-y, and it's just like, I'm sorry, isn't this about vampires? Just like, no, oh sorry, zombies. Isn't this about zombies? And it's like, no, this is about vampires now. And it's like, you've lost the plot, and you're like, okay, listen, everybody likes sexy, big Lady Dimitrescu, I get it. No issues there. But it is a Resident Evil game. The point is zombies and all of this other stuff. It shouldn't, you know, and it should follow that trend rather than turn into more of a mythological approach. Again, I mean, I have no issues with, like, well, as...
I don't know, sorry.
It doesn't impact me. It wasn't the point was because it's not like I'm a fan of the games or anything.
For me, Resident Evil is just, you know, somewhat spooky atmosphere and solving very stupid puzzles.
Okay. I didn't know I had that much puzzle solving in it. And saying that, I guess
yeah, for sure.
Oh, I don't have healing.
Especially the old games are all about puzzle solving. Like you have to find keys and...
What? Sorry. When it finally begins to be stupid. Also, I kind of hate that James Bond, No Time to Die, and Resident Evil have the same goddamn ending. Guy becomes infected, stays behind, dies so that his daughter and wife could live. Good riddance, Daniel Craig. Thanks for ruining that movie for me. I haven't seen that yet. I was looking forward to seeing that, but I guess now I know.
Spoiler.
Spoilers. That's right. It doesn't impact me too much. Yeah, bitch. Come at me, bro. Craig just went down. That's kind of sad, bro. Honestly, I think what they just wanted to do was wrap up Daniel Craig's kind of position. I reckon from this point onwards, they're just going to, like, change it completely. Well, I'm hoping what they'll do is, like, really revamp his character. Or just drop it. Just end it. Because I think they either need to completely revamp the concept of the entire thing, because obviously nowadays it has a lot of bad connotations with male masculinity and like sexism and stuff like that. That, or literally just drop it, let John Wick just fucking take over, because everybody loves John Wick. Because obviously John Wick has a very different focus in character, and people really like Keanu Reeves. Who the fuck is John Wick?
I mean, also, James Bond is not necessarily supposed to be a good character.
Yeah, because he's still a spy. Oh no, that's
yeah, and even in the books, he's kind of an asshole. Also, there's some really weird stuff
Put that bow away.
in the old books. I think in one of them, James Bond has the idea that homosexual people cannot whistle, and I have no idea why. Apparently, he thought that was a thing. Also, he's full of drugs and alcohol.
The truth was. Okay. Alright. Golden Eye 525. To be honest, I'm not sorry about. I'm just gonna keep hitting and assume that I'm hitting something. Okay, there we go. Remakes were cease and desist. Yes, I'm not sorry. Several Golden Eye remakes were cease and desist in the service of its fucking movie and Funko Pop merchandise. Male masculinity?
I fucking hate Funko Pop so much.
Look up John Wick, my dude. It has a C before the K. Basically, the nicest actor in the world, obviously, which is Keanu Reeves.
John Wick, that's the founder of Wikipedia.
Figured.
No.
Find your words.
It's about a dude who was previously an assassin who's but like gave it all up because you know, he wanted to live a happy life and live with his wife and whatever. And then his wife like passes away and he was like ready to just kind of like, you know, live a normal life taking care of the dog that his wife left him. But instead, like some old like dude who has some sort of goose has some kind of like hating against John Wick, even after all these years, is like, hey, we're gonna kill his dog, and he just fucking goes mad lad out on them, and it's great because he's like the greatest assassin ever or something. I think it's assassin or like a hitman, probably more like a hitman. Is there any difference? I don't know. God, why are there so many scourges? He posted a written review later. Wait, where are we? There. There is one guy who has a Twitter account called GoldenEye Dossier. Super fan of GoldenEye, digs up every bit of trivia he can imagine, and he was hyped for No Time to Die. I told him, nope, not watching it, because what they did to GoldenEye remakes, you of all pages should understand. He went, watched it anyway. He posted a written review later. Oh no. That's just like -1 out of 10.
I was never that into James Bond.
I didn't mind it. I mean, like, I really like Casino Royale just because I like the whole, like, you know, doing poker and like trying to tell what their like poker face is. I don't know why that kind of part was like really cool, because you have to like figure out what their tell is, and then when you figure out the tell, it's like, whoa.
Whoa.
Exactly. Open the other gate. Didn't I open the other gate? Okay, alright, I'll try. How did I not open the other gate? What did I do? And then like we watched, I want to say like, I think it's like Pierce Bronson era, where it was like, the world is not enough, the fire and ice one, I can't remember. Like, I think those ones were like a bit more where they had like a stronger female sort of, side character.
I don't know if I would call them strong, but...
a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, through here. Okay.
They tend to be mostly meat.
Do you mean that in the sense of what I think you mean?
Yeah, they're kind of just there to like be pretty in the movies.
Oh yeah, but I mean like these are like the ones where it's actually
feminist.
like the female at least has a little bit more they're a spy themselves or something, or like they double cross Bond or something. Like there's a little bit more buffness to them.
That's a with the seducing. That's a good point. And have you seen the 3 main Batman movies, the Nolan movies?
The best ones, like Batman.
Batman,
and
Dark
Batman
Knight, and Dark Knight
Oh no,
Rises.
you're talking about. Okay, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Wait, is it Batman Forever, right? And then Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises?
No. Batman Begins,
Oh.
Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises.
Batman. I haven't seen the first one, but I've seen the Dark Knight Rises.
It's a really weird thing in Dark Knight Rises. Thalia is trying to seek. It's not the worst trilogy. Only the last one is really bad. Dark Knight is a really good movie.
I really like the Dark Knight too. Dark Knight Rises was a little, okay.
Yeah.
I watched the Dark Knight so many times, and I absolutely love
Me
it
too.
because I
Me
just
too.
like the Joker is just fantastic, and
Everything in it is pretty fantastic.
it's really cool.
honestly.
Or even like I really loved like the ethical question that they like posed, where it was like, you know, the boat of innocent people and the boat of villains,
Criminals.
you know, like criminals, like which one do you explode? It was just, you know, and at the end, like even like the criminals being like, I've killed enough, sort of thing. I always like loved all of that sort of.
We're criminals, not monsters.
Yeah.
No, but what I wanted to say, Thalia, Ra's al Ghul's daughter, is trying to get revenge on Batman and Bruce Wayne in the last movie. And as part of that, she seduces Bruce Wayne for really no reason at all.
Oh,
Like-
okay.
They had full-on sex, and then later she betrays him and like tries to kill him, but she didn't have to have sex with him.
Yeah.
Like, at what point, when you want to, like, if you absolutely hate a dude, when do you decide, okay, but I'm gonna let him bang me first? Like, why?
Yeah, like you can literally, like you can, you know, they always say like women, you know, can seduce and, you know, that sort of thing with a guy, without trying much. This woman's gonna die.
I mean, yeah,
Pretty
if
fucking stupid. Yeah.
if her goal was ouch, like if her goal was to seduce him, and while his guard was down and his pants were down as well,
And then stab him.
to like kill him in that moment, or stab him, I'm fine with that. But no, she just full on had sex with him,
For no reason.
and then couple weeks later
Then
the plan
betrays
happened.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's no. It's so.
Counterintuitive.
I hope if somebody wants to kill me, they at least have the decency to have sex with me first.
Okay, give me a second.
What a plot.
I gotta catch up on Gilded. Back in the early 1998, I'm assuming this is the review he posted. GoldenEye made me a James Bond fan. I still haven't watched GoldenEye. After watching that movie and Tomorrow Never Dies, I think Tomorrow Never Dies was another one I watched. I went on with the rest of the films. The other actors, Connery, Lazenby, Moore, and Dalton, and even embraced the novels. Why? Because that film, many YouTubers consider superfluous, was a tiny window to the marvelous world of Ian Fleming's James Bond 007, a door that No Time to Die has regretfully and almost irreversibly closed. Yeah, no, like I like Daniel Craig as how is that guy so easy? As James Bond, but he didn't have the same amount of charm and like charisma as the previous characters. They made him a lot more serious, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it just wasn't the same vibe. And that's why heckin' Mads Mikkelsen in Casino Royale is the best. Anyway.
It's funny to see all the racists absolutely lose their shit about the possibility of a Black Bond.
Oh yeah, well that might still happen. I know a lot of people were really hoping for Idris Elba, but I still feel like some people are just like, you know, it's, how long has it been going for? It's been a lot of James Bond movies, just let it die. Just kind of just pat it on the head and be like, okay, sweetie, you can't exist in this new era of life. We're trying to like, you know, work on like getting rid of male masculinity and, you know, get men to accept their feelings and talk about their feelings. Like...
I have to interject because it happened twice now. I think the word you're looking for is toxic masculinity, not male masculinity.
Oh,
male masculinity
you're right.
is
Sorry.
fine.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Is a
Okay.
thing we don't want.
Sorry. You know what I mean. You guys understood. All right. Sorry, I still got more to read. Fuck the Christian Bale Batman. Worst trilogy. I like the second one. Dark Knight is good. 2, and 1. I think I've only seen the end of 1, but I remember at least liking, you know, the actual like original Batman, like Batman and Robin, and there's another one.
Best Batman movie by far, Mask of the Phantasm. Fight me.
I like Batman and Robin. I like the Ivy, but also having like Dr. Freeze. This is like memories from like when I was probably 6. It's been years.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yes, he's got to say the dad puns. Guys are not worthy to even lick the soles of Kevin Conroy's boots. A lot of people decide that in real life. It is astonishingly incomprehensible. And the only official GoldenEye remake, the one on Wii, stars goddamn Daniel Craig. Now that's an insult. Imagine if there was a remake of Batman Begins with the fucking Twilight guy. Again, well yes, Rando guy is right. Yes.
Rando guy's name is Urzon.
What was the... Did you just purr at the start of your name?
No, it's how you pronounce it. Urzon.
Oh, so... What?
Urzon.
Okay. There you go. Actually, I'm kind of excited to see the new Batman because I just feel like, you know, because the Joker did really well, right? And now I feel like they're just gonna just embrace the entire darkness of DC and they're just gonna go the complete opposite direction of Marvel. Like, obviously Marvel's trying to open it up to try a lot of different types of genres now, but then just fucking having
the Joker's
just changing it and having it so that the Batman is like, again, really, really dark and having like all of these moral, like ethical issues. Like, I'm really excited to see that have the Riddler in it and like the Riddler maybe help him to like defeat evil or go to somewhere else to like help him kind of like lead him around by the nose about where he should go, because I've always loved the Riddler as a character as well. And just like, I'm interested to see where it goes, and I'm totally gonna go watch it with my sister at the movies. Even if it does have Edward Cullen in it. What the hell am I over here? Because we all know Team Jacob. For the most part. He's also very much an asshole, but...
Shit, I forgot what I wanted to say.
DCAO series. Animated originals. Oh. The fuck is DC doing with live action anime? With all of their home runs are in the animated movies, they just made an Injustice movie. Injustice movie. Dude, I don't know what DC is doing, and it makes me really sad. Like, it's like they never figured out. They just never figured out themselves. You know, like Marvel was like, okay, you know, like we have obviously a little bit of a weird kind of history with like Sony having half of our properties. Sure, whatever. We can survive from that. But like they haven't figured out like a proper storyline, and when they did it horribly because they were like trying to rush to have, you know, something to kind of combat civil war, and instead they just rushed. What the fuck are these? What is happening?
I'm not sure I saw actual goblins before in Skyrim.
Yeah, this is a part of the anniversary edition. I'm wondering what the fuck is going on. They're barely doing any damage to me. Okay, guys, let's just let this end. Why the fuck are there goblins? What the fuck? Oh, this is the. Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna go with it. They never figured out a storyline, and you know, like they would do like small storylines, but then they wouldn't really lead anywhere. Like I just, and
The
that's
killing
why
joke animation was terrible.
I don't know anything about the animation. Batman killing Joker, check. Superman, Red Sun, check. What? Wait, All-Star Superman, check. Superman, Batman, Public Enemy, check. Superman, Batman,
The problem-
Apocalypse, check. Injustice, check. Batman Under the Red Hood, check. And it's sad because they're from what I understand, the TV shows. I think it's the TV shows, right? People love the TV, like the TV shows. They do so weirdly, remarkably well with the TV shows, and yet they don't like use the same actors or anything to like kind of like enforce, and to like enforce those people and whatever. Like, I don't know how to put it, but did I just break into this place by accident? They
Sure did.
okay. I never broke in.
The issue with Batman is that the idea of Batman itself is pretty outdated.
Halt! You have no
Because it's like, if you think about Batman for even a second, it's an incredibly influential billionaire using his enormous wealth to beat up like street level criminals in his one city, and he could do so much more good for the entire world if he just like used his money for a good cause.
Wait,
And
What
no,
are we talking about?
gotta beat up people. Batman.
Batman. Okay, sorry, my brain was like changed it. I'm like, are we talking about a real life person?
Well, yeah, Elon Musk could also do so much good if he just gave all his money away. God, I fucking hate
Lex
Elon Musk.
Luthor's Epiphany. All Stars Superman. Okay, I'll watch that. Test? Why does it say test? Okay, I will watch that afterwards in case of copyright, but I don't know how to get up here, so I'm just gonna.
No cheating.
Too late. I can
Go
and
back.
will send you an awesome clip from each of them. Do it. Send them to me, I'll watch them afterwards. As long as they're probably not too long, because otherwise I'll probably, I mean, like, the point is if you don't send me like a 30-minute video. 30 minutes.
Just don't watch The Killing Joke, it's pretty bad. For some reason, they made Batman have sex with Jim Gordon's daughter, and it's weird.
We gave this guy fire. Linnell? Oh my god. That's like my mum's name mixed with my name. Wait, I need a screenshot with my middle name. Yeah.
What's your middle name?
I don't know what you're talking about. Arswin.
Whoops, revealed too much.
No, I've said it before, but it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, like sometimes my brain's just sort of like, isn't that like one of those security questions? Like, should I say that? But in saying that, I'm also the type of person who's like, my middle name's this, and I think it's really cool.
So, what was the name of your first pet growing up?
I don't even think there's a proper answer to that. And by that, I mean like, there was like a fish, and there was a rabbit, and there was a guinea pig, but I also might have just said, you know, Rusty, our current dog, as well. So, like, I really don't know what counts as the first one.
But yeah, that's a common security question.
Yeah, I know. But as I said, like, there's multiple answers to that, and I don't know which one I would have written down. Oh, what the hell did I just grab? Because I might have just been, you know, like, you know what, the dog is, like, you know, Rusty, which I've said multiple times, so it's not really spoiling anything. You know, like, is like, you know, like, the first dog that's lasted a really long time. Well, you know, like the guinea pigs, I think we had for maybe like 2, 3, I want to say like 2 years.
Lasted a long time.
And a rabbit was probably
on that.
2 years. The fish was probably like a month. Let's face it, it's a fish.
Fish can last longer than a month. You're supposed to put them in water.
If I was in charge of it, like. It's dead.
Oh no. You said it.
Yep. We need this. I didn't realize this was one of the places with the special jar. I wanna go, that's north. I wanna go south, damn it. Latin. But yeah, I kind of, and that's why I'm kind of hurt. Sorry, let me restart that. The reason why I'm kind of hoping for DC to just go completely dark, I just feel like is a good direction for them, considering the successfulness of Joker. And how much they've kind of failed at, I want to say failed, like, they haven't made their TV shows charismatic enough, I want to say. You know?
I think Joker mostly works because it's copying a lot from Taxi Driver, if you ever watched that.
No.
It's a classic, really good movie. It's a really good movie to like copy from, but a lot of the points, a lot of the ideas are like very, like it seems obviously from Taxi Driver. Even the idea, like in Taxi Driver, the guy works at the taxi company where, you know, they have this place where they get sent out from to do different taxi jobs, and in Joker, they have this weird place where apparently people just rent clowns, like a clown temp agency.
Yeah.
Apparently clowns are in high enough demand to have like an agency like that where they just sit around. That was before the
murders occurred.
Yeah. And
I don't understand how anyone could be a clown anymore. I feel like that job is just dead, and I'm okay with it being dead. Just let it die. let it lie down.
Yeah,
let it never happen again. Let's have like people dress up as anime characters, because that's what we really want in life. Or in superheroes.
And Joker, I like Joker, but in some places it was a bit too obvious. Like I think the prime example for that is when he talks to the next time he talks to his neighbor, and you realize his neighbor doesn't know who he is, and you realize, oh, he has been imagining all the dating the entire time. And it's pretty clear, it's very clear that that's what happened just from him talking to her and her being like, who are you, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
But then the movie has to start doing flashbacks to show us that the actual scenes with her never happened and that he was being alone.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I get it. You don't have to, like, that's not necessary. I'm not stupid.
Some people might be though.
Or
I know I can be pretty thick sometimes.
Yeah, or stuff like pretty early on when his social worker tells him that they cut the funding, and then outright just states they don't care about people like you or me. Okay, I get it. You don't have to spell it out that much.
But I think it was definitely like a really important. Like I liked the sort of like themes around it because I mean like I remember watching it and was just feeling it was so funny because we saw it with me and my sister and a friend Nat and just was completely disgusted. Like I walked out of the film and I was like, I feel like I could literally throw. Like I hate throwing up, and I felt so sick after like the entire events of the movie. But it was also like it was so cool because it was so interesting and like it covered so many interesting issues. That you sort of like love that sort of side of it.
The issues are very interesting, but I found the way they handled it was a bit ham-fisted at times. A good point a friend of mine recently brought up was one thing with the mental illness thing. Remember the joke that he tells to Murray at the end? With the what you get when you push a mentally blah blah to his limits.
Oh yeah.
That thing. Like that shows a level of awareness that he just like why does he have this awareness?
That's
Why
a good
does he
point.
suddenly?
Like they wouldn't technically have that level of awareness. Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
he just suddenly knows that he's like mentally ill and like he just states the thesis of the movie to you. Like, hey, I'm mentally ill, nobody cares for me, and everyone is shitting on me, so that's why I start killing. And like, no, yes, that's what's happening, but you don't know that. You think you're supposed to think you're justified and not have the awareness that, oh, I'm being crazy right now. Like,
I never thought of it that way, but you definitely have a point. But
it's a point my friend brought up. It's actually not my point. I can't take credit for it.
You told it to me, so you get the credit. But I mean, like, I think it's just one of those kind of like movie things where you almost need to like overextend on your point in case it wasn't obvious. And I think it comes across a lot more. It's not starching. Like a lot more. Like confronting. It's a lot more intimidating and confronting when they say the direct line. Like it's like basically like spitting it in your face. Where the hell did that dragon go?
Yeah, I have a lot of. I liked it overall. I tend to be. People sometimes think I just hate everything, because or I think Gilded wants your attention. Yeah, I tend to be very critical with movies, even and also games, even when I really like them. And sometimes people think that means that I hate them.
No, I don't think so.
And yeah.
Where the fuck is this I want to kill the dragon. Where did it go? Oh wait, it's still here now? I don't fucking know what's happening. Sorry. Hello, Gilded. Yes, I will watch them in my own time, but I fully predict that you might come to my side. I just never have gotten super into animated, just the animated stuff. I haven't really been super into. In saying that, we just finished watching. Oh, there he is! Look at him, Kimmy. Oh, okay.
I will still maintain that the animated killing joke is not very good.
Okay. I'm out. I'm asleep. Oh, good, Gilded. Thank you for sending the videos. I'll watch them and I'll have to tell you what I think tomorrow.
Good night, Gilded.
Sleep well. Take care. Rest easy. Illy Gilded.
Another pointless nitpick about the Joker movie. Remember the guys beating him up at the start of the movie?
Yes. Oh god.
And he then gets in trouble. His boss is like, the store owner called and he wants his sign back. You're in big trouble for not bringing it back.
It's like, it's a sign, bitch. That guy's probably rich. He doesn't care about his sign.
not only the sign. It's a going out of business, everything must go sign. Does he really need that back?
Yeah.
Why does he need the going out of business sign back?
Yeah.
For the next business
To
time
fail?
that's gonna fail? Yeah, oh, I'm gonna need that again. My next business, total train wreck. I already know it. I'm gonna get so much money out of this sign.
Where'd you come from?
You have a very good point. Yeah, no, I always get annoyed by that. Or the fact that even just like the kids like attacking him and whatever, like let me tell you, I rarely ever come across any kid that would ever dare attack or like hurt like any adults. Like it's you know like I just want to like I guess like in a lot of like films and stuff they make kids to be out to be like real bullies and the like, and it's like for them at least like from I want to say from my own experience, which is probably like a bad way of putting it because I might have a little bit more of a rose tinted view because I didn't have as bad of an experience, but from my experience either way I haven't ever known like kids are cruel to each other, but I rarely see that they are so cruel to random people on the street. Like hell, when I walk across anyone, I mean this is obviously post-COVID, don't even look at each other. Like no one wants to be concerned with anyone nowadays. We're just like everyone keep your eyes to the ground, don't make contact.
Have you seen the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie?
The what?
Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
Daredevil. No.
Yeah. That has the best bullies. Because the bullies in that movie, they beat up a fucking blind kid.
What?
There's a full-on blind kid, and the bullies are just, what you're doing here, and just shoving him and pushing him and like giving him a hard time. And I'm sorry, but even bullies have limits. They pick on you for being different. They pick on you for like all kinds of shit. But I refuse to believe that any bully would just pick on a blind kid for being blind.
No. And like, and I find more often that like, especially when it comes to like people kill crow's tooth, okay? When it comes to like people who are like, or blind or something like that, you're like usually like they get out. This is a weird way of putting it, but like a protection circle around them. And by that I mean like they have people around them who are like, who respect them and like them. And you know, like make sure that stuff like that doesn't happen, I guess. Like,
yeah, you're gonna be a serious asshole to get bullied as a blind kid.
yeah. Ooh, mace. More damage. Fuck is
It's
this?
gonna be a blind viewer telling me actually he was bullied the entire time as in his childhood and I'm wrong. I'm gonna be an idiot.
Nah. I mean, there's always like, it's one of those things where obviously like you can't test for every single person, right?
Hmm.
But I like there's always gonna be like somebody who's like I would dare speak contrary, but at least from the experiences I know and like even like the people that you meet and go through life, you know, you'd be like, again, like as you said, like even bullies have limits for the most part, and if they don't have limits, that's when you need to start being concerned. Okay, I just cleared out this place. Was that all I had to do? Okay. Let's go become leader of the companions. Oh wait, let's go put everything into a box and never use it again. That's what we want to do.
Companions. That's what they call prostitutes in Firefly.
Fair? I forgot to turn my light on before stream. Oh, whatever, I can stay on. It's fine.
Have you ever seen Firefly?
Nope.
Really good show. Highly recommend it.
Nah. I can barely get myself to watch anime nowadays, much less anything else. Hello, Fox. His
Any
name's
love for
Sweet
sci-fi
Roll.
at all?
Fox's name is Sweet Roll. Oh, he has sweet rolls on him. Oh. Oh my god, we feed Sweet Roll a Sweet Roll. I love you. No one touched my fucking. What's with dragons randomly appearing everywhere? This is the 3rd time. I just wanna make that clear. Do not
That's
touch
the
my
good
fox.
thing about the alternative start mod. Just don't start the dragon encounter and you don't see any dragons in the game.
I am aware of that. I just I like the dragon encounters. It's just that, you know, I'm hoping that fox that I just made friends with didn't die, you know? Did you
I think
summon the
since it-
thief? Come on.
She
Serana.
revived him. I think since it became your pet, it's probably immortal. And also,
hope so.
since it's a quest NPC, it's also probably immortal.
There's a speed behind it. How did I not hit that?
I think that's one thing every Skyrim player encounters. When they're like, oh, you can catch butterflies. And then it says butterfly wings added.
Yes, I remember that when I was younger. I'd just be like, "Ooh, butterfly," and then it just fucking snaps in half. It's like, oh. Okay, wait, why did I put this on?
Have you become a vampire yourself yet?
Not yet. I will have to soon because of the Dawn Guard quest, but there's the fox. Hello, my love. Hello, sweet roll. I want you to come with me, but I don't want you to like. Oh, let's remove your collar. Why would you remove the collar? To let it free? Go to Hendraheim.
It's so bright out here.
Is he blind?
I don't know. I have to read the book.
His eyes are very milky.
Let me have a look.
Just chat that because they have to hear my voice. It's very understandable. Nah, nothing.
Thieves Journal. Here we go. Guess being Bosmer really does give me a way with animals. This little fox wandered up to me today, bold as brass, and started begging for treats. I didn't have anything on me at the time but a sweet roll, but it seemed to like that well enough. I wonder if this gift with animals works on horses. It would make stealing them even dead easier. The very nuisance won't leave me alone. It's been following me everywhere ever since, even down in the sewers. At least it's quiet enough that it won't alert the guards. Fox has a real nose for sniffing out valuables. Just this morning she dug a silver locket out of the mud. I never would have seen it if she hadn't started pouring at the ground. She must be attracted to shiny things. Can't say I blame her, really. Finding Sweet Roll has turned out to be the best stroke of luck I've had in a while. She's got bright eyes and instincts, better eyes and instincts than any thief I've ever met, including Vex. I can't remember the last time my coin purse was this heavy. I'm starting to jingle like a battalion of Imperials when I walk. I think I'll try out this animal taming thing on the wolves outside of town. Oh, that's how he dies. Some of the other thieves have been eyeing me recently. They would think twice about jumping me if I had a wolf at my heels. No, so it's not blind.
Yeah, not a good idea.
It's kind of sad, but also kind of stupid. You don't attack wolves. I thought that was obvious. Look at them. Look at my little family of animals. Oh, dogger. The fox isn't here yet, but it's cute. See him walk around. Oh, let me go down here. Do you have any other masks? I don't think so. Oh, that's right.
Neat basement.
Mama, you're home.
Hello.
Hey, I got you something. Hope you like it.
Oh, thanks. A golden diamond ring. How did you get a golden ring? Thank you.
A gold diamond ring. That's that
Wait,
kid is doing stuff.
The place had 100% fire resistance. Crazy. Well, that's a good helmet. Shame I don't use these. Nice. Butterfly. There we go. Alrighty. Good. Nice little save. Alright. So, Quest for the Dead. I can do the main quest line. Yeah. Oh, that's that quest.
Vampire.
Vampire. And oh, the Ving.
Oh, you already defeated the end boss?
Who?
The boss, the final boss, you already defeated him?
Alduin? No, I haven't done that yet.
Oh, didn't it say after I defeated?
Nope. Which quest is it again? What am I doing? I've already hired a steward for the plantation. I wonder why that didn't activate. Profit. Nope. 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 Y'all's Justice? Oh no, that's that quest. Whatever. I need to go talk to Jarl Bolgroof. That's where I needed to go. Swim and go around the back. Actually, that's probably no. We'll walk from south now. No, this was always something weird, right? Like it says, werewolves cannot get resting bonuses from sleeping, right? Because they have like restless blood. There are literally there's literally no reason for it to be like that. And by be like that, I just mean like there's, as you said, like there's no like consequences really for it. That's why like being a werewolf is just so good. It's like nothing. Like they talk about losing your sleeping bonuses, but this is Skyrim. Unless you're playing the survival edition, there's like no reason at all to sleep in this game.
Yeah. That's kinda in all the Bethesda games. I also don't like it when, like with survival games, I'm really not a fan of games forcing me to sleep, to eat, to drink every now and then with like a meter, because if I play a game like say Skyrim or whatever, I just assume these are things that my character does in between whatever I'm doing. Like I don't need to literally click the okay now go sleep button. It's the same how in a movie you don't need to see somebody go to the toilet. You assume they do that, but like you don't need to see it happen.
Yeah. Every time you teleport in this game, that's just you pooping. Because well, obviously I'm running around doing stuff. Teleport though. There he is. Look at him up there. Isn't he cute? Kacharb. Okay, I'm not close enough. Sad bro times I tried.
The Cowboy Bebop real life show or the Cowboy Bebop anime?
So my mate from school, who is Thai, goes on and fucking on about Cowboy Bebop day in, day out. Good on him. A lot of people like Cowboy Bebop. I haven't watched it, but... Dude, so got this. God, this is so slow. And today he finally showed me like 3-4 episodes during class, and I swear to tell us I cannot get the theme song out of my head. Come to the anime way of life. Come to the dark side, we have anime.
Ugh.
And anime titties. You
No,
scoff-
I'm interested.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop, the anime is one of the best you can watch. The show starts interesting, and honestly, the show completely falls apart in the last few episodes. Like, it
Probably.
becomes absolute dog shit.
Oh my god, it was so funny. Wait. I'm gonna read Anakin's thing out loud. I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, the whole thing I got out of it was the chick with the big puppers.
I assume you're talking about the one in the first episode of the anime leaning over the bar?
Probably.
Yeah,
That's like
good
every
taste,
first
man.
anime ever, but correct. It's funny that you say that though, because we had a weeb in the Discord. He was talking about how, I think it was weeb, he was talking about how he was watching Evangelion, like in that one.
Yeah. Get in the fucking robot, Shinji.
Yeah. He was talking about how he was watching it for the first time, and you know, he was still like several episodes off the end, and he said a line like, oh, which of the movies should I watch? You know, like which one comes off where? And everyone was like, you're gonna have to watch the end before you make that decision. And then, you know, and because he's like, I've been really enjoying it and stuff, and both me, like I think like Estantia and Philip are all sitting there kind of like with our hands covering our mouths like, oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. I'm like,
All comes tumbling down, tumbling down.
exactly. Like I had a friend show me literally the last episode, and I was like, the fuck? Like I don't remember it, but I remember how horrified I was by it, and I was like, yep, I'm never watching this. It's never gonna happen. I just have it as a frame of reference where if anyone's like, hey, you wanna watch it? I'd be like, no, don't do that.
We all return to nothing.
Yes.
But yeah, Cowboy Bebop also, like, it has a very sad but very nice ending. And
That's good.
obviously Netflix wants to do, like, their live action shows. It has to go on for 20 seasons.
It's like, no,
No,
please stop.
just...
Look, if they get the right actor, it'll work. No. That's why I'm a bit worried about the One Piece live action. Like, I love One Piece, but I just, like, to begin with, I think you'd agree, like, if you've watched a decent amount of like, Marvel and DC, right? Like, the original, well, I say the original, like, the Fantastic Four that Sony made in, like, 2003 or something. The stretching animation is so weird, and I don't know how they're going to make that look smooth in a live action way. It
It's
works fine
2003.
for anime, but like for live action,
You can do that pretty well now, I think, but yeah.
well, look, if it looks fine now, then that's fine. But it's just like one of those things where it's just like. And I don't know, like, you know, like, how long is each episode going to be? Is it going to basically be, like, are they going to be fast-tracking things? Because, you know, like, if they make each episode 50 minutes long, you could get through a lot. Like, because
Yeah.
obviously, like, anime obviously has a very, I want to say, like, slow pace because it's the way they do the humor in the game, in, like, visually do the humor, where the person, like, kind of stops and stares at, you know, kind of tilts their head and then have, like, the question mark above their head, kind of. There's less of that because it's
Fucking weeb.
live action.
Yeah.
You know if you know.
Yeah.
But like it also might just try and do everything this at like the exact same with the anime, and it's just like no, that's where everything starts falling apart.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like One Piece, like first, One Piece is very anime, and that's hard to put into live action.
Exactly.
Like Cowboy Bebop is kind of
A little
like,
more realistic. Like
yeah,
it's guns
it's-
and
it's
stuff.
so-
It's not magic and devil fruits.
it's somewhat grounded, at least more than One Piece. And then also like One Piece is like shit, but you know, it's how do you want to put that in a live action show? Like first of all, you have 1,000 fucking episodes, so you're gonna have to curate what you put into the show in general, what you cut out, and like the problem with Naruto and One Piece and Bleach and all these shows is that they don't really have a storyline. They have lots of little arcs that follow new little arcs, and those arcs don't really connect much other than, well, they had this arc and now they have this arc. And like,
Pause. Did you just say that about the big animes?
yeah,
What?
find your words.
I'm just so okay. You're so wrong. I want like I like if you want to say that with like short animes, fair, okay? But with like Naruto and all of that other stuff, I respectfully disagree. Like this stuff, some of it works, some of it doesn't. But One Piece, everything is interconnected, okay? Everything is interconnected. Oda remembers, okay?
You can, first off, no, he has forgotten entire characters before. So
Have you watched it at all? Have you watched it? Do I need to like?
I've watched and read, yeah. Not all of it, grant you. I stopped eventually.
Oh, wait, of what? Sorry?
One Piece?
Of One Piece? How much of it?
I have no idea. I watched a lot of it, and I played the recent games, like
Up to Dress
the
of
Warrior
Rosa.
games
What do you mean?
and whatnot.
How can you? What? But
But no, the point is that these anime, the big anime, really you can take any arc out of there and you're not missing much. Like the entire, like I like the Sky arc where they fight against the Electro God or something, but would you miss anything? Like if they take that out, what's missing? Fucking nothing.
my god, hockey. The establishment of hockey. The dials, or like the dials that they use when they start off with the fight of the thing. The fact that like Eneru is establishment of like the idea of possibly gods and other planets that could have a bigger implication, which could also relate to the celestial dragons. I'm going crazy.
But that's all just additional
Hypotheticals
world
for
build-
the time being. They're all theories, and we don't know the truth.
No, but it's all just extended world building. It doesn't, like, the main story is trying to find the One Piece, and most of that shit is not needed.
I'm gonna have a riot. I'm going to have a riot. I'm so. Oh my god. Okay, breathe, Hannah. It's okay. It's late. I need to start like talking less. But holy, oh, dude, like, okay, you need to understand. Okay. The entire anime is is like, okay. Things are like slowly connecting together in the current anime, okay? And it's absolutely going mad, to say the least, okay? It is literally going crazy with like connecting things and stuff like that. And
I'm not saying they don't put in the effort to have connecting wires.
I'm saying, at least, in my opinion, at least with One Piece, things are a lot more interconnected. Naruto, sure, fine. There's like whole sections you could take out of that, and I wouldn't give two shits because it's Naruto. I don't care that much about Naruto. Yes, I just wrecked on Naruto. But
Thought I heard something.
and like, okay, Bleach just does poorly at it, and that's the thing that's disappointing about it. Bleach does such a bad job at like connecting points, like how you find out like way later on that like you find out that Ichigo's dad is literally the previous 10th squad captain. Do they show Ichigo reacting to this information? No, they only tell the audience. They don't actually talk.
Yeah, it's
like they don't actually like address the information for the characters or anything. It's so poorly done. It's horrible. Not to mention the fillers alone are just horrible.
But yeah, it's because these shows, like all of these shows, just come up with new plot points to have because they need to sell more DVDs. So
but I still disagree about One Piece, okay? Because
the same
One Piece is all
happens,
building to a point and it's so good.
For instance, in One Piece, the same bullshit happens when like fucking Ace dies, and then like 5 minutes after Ace dies, we find out, oh, by the way, he had another childhood friend that was really important to him, who also happens to be basically the same character and now has his power.
Okay, yes.
That's fucking
but
terrible.
Isn't that nice that he like finds out he's alive and then he's related to the fucking and then he's related to the Revolutionary Army, and that connects him to it that way, which is going to be important into the future with the current events of the actual anime. We find out that we're probably going to have a very similar instance in the sense that he's actually presented to be he's presented to be dead, but he's not actually dead, and that means they have to go and save him from Marijoa, and it's going to be an epic rescue mission, and even Luffy could be kidnapped and taken there as well, and then you could have all of the people from the Luffy's crew and fleet attack Marijoa, and that would be really cool, and connect them to the actual
like I said, you're thinking about justifying it, and I'm not talking about justifying it.
I know.
But you have to think about what happened.
Dude.
Basically,
Yeah,
they killed an
they made a
important
character, they got rid of him, and they replaced him with another character. Fair.
Yeah.
But it's
With
really
the
cool
same
and
character in
interconnected and makes it really cool, like the ramifications of it, and then like the build up another like kind of section and like relatedness. I just
I'm not saying you can't like it. It's okay. It's okay. Nobody's
just
coming
feel
for
like
your One Piece.
I like my brain. I can't understand how you can have this opinion, because in my brain everything is so interconnected with like the theories
like I said,
and the possibilities and all of the stuff. Like I don't understand.
Yes, they put strings in between the different arcs, but the main story of One Piece is trying to find the fucking One Piece, the big treasure that all we know about is it's not friendship.
Yes, we know it's not friendship. The journey.
Yeah.
Did I hear right?
The journey at the end is.
Companions?
Because right now, I'm gonna say right now, whatever the fucking One Piece is, it's not gonna hold up to how long the show has been running. It's not gonna be good enough of a treasure.
No, dude, you don't even know. You don't know.
There's no way, no matter what it is, it can't be like 1,000 episodes worth of treasure hunt.
Oh, it is.
But yeah, at least we know. Do you know what it is?
I don't know what it is, but there's theories, and even just the theories are really interesting concepts.
But anyway, at least we know it's not like, oh, it's the friends you made along the way.
It's not that. Yeah. Turns out to just be gold. Can you imagine?
Money also has lost all meaning, like with how high their bounties are by now. Like the amount of money they're worth has gone up so incredibly
I'm
high.
so excited to see their next bounties. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so good. Like we're almost at the end of the Kaido arc, and it's just.
1 bajillion.
Can I just?
But
Can
no,
I-
the point I was trying to make, but I wanted to get out. Like, all is connected in a way, and like they find a reason why this one thing they did was important. Yeah, I understand
Good
that.
to see you
But
again.
like, if you really think
Look
about
onward.
which of the storylines are actually important to getting closer to the One Piece, like actually structurally important,
They are.
and not just you find a bullshit reason like, oh, we needed to get the ship across this landline. Like that's all just we need to sell more DVDs.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. It's so planned. It's so cool.
Yeah,
my
but
man.
like the plan is to sell 1 million DVDs. And I'm not saying they're not coming up with good storylines in there and like cool fight scenes, but if you compare it to like Ghost in the Shell, have you ever seen the Ghost in the Shell series?
The what? Sorry.
Have you ever seen Ghost in the Shell standalone complex?
I haven't seen any of that. Isn't that just a movie? Or no, wait, it's 13 episodes or something.
It's both. It has a what's it called? It has a movie as well as an anime series. The movie is also really
Yeah,
good.
Ghost in the Shell, yeah.
But the anime series, it's like 26 episodes, which is a bit on the high side.
You're joking.
And you have like, for all the different characters that are in the show, like each character has like one establishing episode where they talk a bit about the characters' backstories and flesh out how the character is thinking. And then they have a couple missions, like adventure episodes, where they kind of flesh out how the characters work together now. And then the rest of the episodes have an overarching plot of like there's this bad guy that we're hunting, and like all the episodes play into each other with what they need to find to get this bad guy. And that's all you need. You can solve that in under 30 episodes. And what shows like Naruto and One Piece kind of do is they also have this overarching plot that they want to tell, like finding the One Piece or whatever.
But it's so much more than that, you know? Like, it's not just One Piece, it's the people, and it's how how the places are all unique in different ways, and how they're
Sure, and like
and you know, like there's even bigger questions that keep turning up, like as you said, what is the One Piece? What does it mean? But there's also the Celestial Dragons, and why is the Revolutionary Army like so against the Celestial Dragons? Like what? And we know Celestial Dragons are assholes, and you know, like there's so much more that it's built on top of it that it's like we need answers, and I want to see answers, and it's all building towards something.
Sure, but I'm saying it's building way longer than it needs to be with way too many bricks to build a simple house. You can tell the story
I think it's
in
great.
less than... Sure, and it can be entertaining. I'm not saying it can't be. But I think it's important that like a big reason that shows like that have so many episodes is because they need to sell more DVDs.
I mean, I can at least understand, like I want to say for like something like Boruto. Again, I haven't watched Boruto, and I'm sure someone, who is it? There's someone who really likes Boruto. They would slaughter me for it. Trey. It's Trey. Trey would slaughter me for it.
I'll protect you.
Thanks. I, like, when, like with One Piece, right? If they made One Piece, right? It ended It's been like, let's say it goes for even longer than we anticipate, for 2,000 chapters. It ends. Okay? But then they have Two Piece. No, they have the second One Piece. And it's like, it's their kids growing up and like going through the same thing. I'd be like, stop. Okay? Like, I'd love to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I love the characters. I love everything about that. But One Piece, I want to say, like, it's a standalone kind of storyline. And once it ends, it theoretically will be the end, or at least Oda's probably going to be very close to dead by then, because he's been working real hard. Like One Piece is one holistic storyline, and it is I want to say unlikely for it to have a true sequel afterwards.
Well, so
Sure.
Compared to something like Boruto and even kind of Fairy Tail, sort of. I don't know what Fairy Tail fucking did.
It's the same shit as One Piece.
with my regards.
Pardon? Sorry?
Fairy Tail, it's the same stuff as One Piece. It's basically...
No, I think it's a lot more horribly structured, in my opinion. Some of it's okay. I don't understand.
I honestly, I see the same structure in One Piece. Like, I think you just like the show a bit too much to...
Okay, that's fair. I'm 100% biased, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also like one of those things where like it's usually people who haven't like watched it and like read it.
No, I watched
it.
a fair amount.
But like to watch that much and not see how interconnected the storyline is, and how just like cool and in-depth some of the character is, and like some of the character development, and just like, and all of the new people that are being introduced, and all of the cool powers, and like the storyline that's been building up over time for Luffy to actually become like one of the king of the pirates.
I gotta complain real quick, because just because the writer later comes up with, actually this minor character you saw in the 3rd episode is really important, it doesn't mean that it's like deep interconnected lore. It's just, hey, how about this minor character is actually really big.
Okay, that's fair, but also, it depends.
How much did
like
Captain
I want to
Black
say
matter?
everything up to Alabasta completely unplanned, because Alabasta was because I think it's been said before that Alabasta was when One Piece was supposed to end.
It would have been a decent end, I think.
It's still a little unfinished, but as far as I know, that was apparently. I need the key.
Because, like, the point is, you can't keep One Piece going forever by just shitting another story arc between what is happening right now and finding the One Piece. And you can insert as many story arcs as you want. And
you could,
like,
but there's like there's a chronology to it that's supposed to happen though. Like, it's established like from after Alabasta, right? I realized this when I watched it recently. Was that a lot of like, and he starts speaking quieter. Okay, a lot of like key institutions within the Marines and like the seven warlords of the sea, and like a lot of that establishment happens after Alabasta, but you start getting the understanding of, obviously, Luffy's defeated a warlord. He's at least at the level of kind of like a warlord at this point, but he's not the level of all warlords, so obviously he has a chance to go against the other warlords, like Gekko Moria and Eneru. For the life of me, I don't understand. It's not a warlord, but still Eneru, god. And then they go against CP9, which is a government organization that you find out is like really, like, they're supposed to be the top game, but they're not, because they're shit and they're assholes. And then, you get the feeling, and then, you have Luffy, they kind of like the next point where they're like, all right, we'll try and pitch him against, you know, like Kuma and the admirals and all of the stuff that happens at Marineford, and you realize Luffy is nowhere at that point. Okay, so takes a 2-year break to like learn haki and get better. And then obviously at the start of like the skip and whatever, the idea is he's building up to the point where he can be considered at least an emperor of the sea, because they've been established for a while at this point. And then once they've like, and now he's at the point where he's established as the warlord of the sea. Well, almost. He almost is. He will be after this current arc, and then he'll be up against the Marines again, and like probably end up against those admirals. Those people who have been established as very strong individuals that Luffy hasn't been able to defeat yet. Like there's a power grade that like from Alabasta they start establishing. And I like, and you understand that as that level of progression at least.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I would call a lot of it actually power creep.
Power creep?
Yeah. It happens to shows that go on for too long. Especially One Piece has this problem for a long time. Similar to Naruto, who also had that problem. These shows at the start establish like a base power level.
Okay.
And by the end, because every arc they have to have a stronger enemy, because Luffy he can't be up against an enemy that is weaker than his last enemy. That wouldn't make any sense, right?
Well,
So,
I mean, unless they're just doing it for fun.
Sorry?
Unless they're just doing it for fun.
Yeah, they can do it for a joke, but like yeah, every new enemy has to be stronger than the last, and then you have to find a way to be stronger yourself in order to beat him.
Okay.
And if you have a show like that go on long enough, you end up with characters that are way too fucking strong.
They haven't reached that
to
point
make
yet either.
they have kind of reached that in One Piece if you consider like think about how strong the first few characters in the show were, like
Axe Hand Morgan?
even
Crocodile?
even Shanks or something like that was like, he was strong, but he wasn't a god, or he wasn't displayed as a god at the start. And
We haven't even seen him fight at his maximum. What?
I know, but he was considered like, I'm trying to say that the strength he showed was like of a reasonable level, and then later like they start people that could end the fucking world if they turned the power against like the planet, and it's kind of weird to think that also in the Marines and whatnot, there exists beings that are so incredibly powerful that you ask yourself, why do the low-level pirates even exist with such powerful enemies?
Well, the point is that they reserve them for the more powerful people.
Sure, but like a lot of them could wipe out entire fleets of enemies,
I'm
like
impressed you could find a mob.
with a flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
And
Just let the old
yeah,
man know
but
when you're ready.
you know, you have to have Buggy the Clown in there somewhere.
How the heck is that guy? Oh, I love Buggy the Clown. He's just stupid and is not powerful in the slightest. He's way in over his depth. Like,
Yeah, I liked him when they introduced him, but yeah, think about like the strongest Marines right now, and think about how Buggy the Clown can be alive.
Now, if everyone will please be quiet.
oh, well, he's a warlord of the sea. Well, you know, was. Which means he was under the protection of the world government.
I know this weapon. It is Oriel's bow.
What, Buggy the Clown?
Voice
Yeah.
whispers.
Oh boy.
saying, among the night's children,
Oh yeah.
dread lord will rise.
Because
in
obviously they
ages
lose quite a
far
few people
when
after
dragons
the
return
events
to the realm men,
of the
darkness will mingle
of the
with light,
of the
and
war.
night and day will be as
And
one.
also like the fact that Luffy keeps taking him down one at a time, like Doflamingo.
But wait,
And
there is more here.
like, I mean, like, obviously, no offense, but like, it's very easy to say that you've played the games, and I think the games give a pretty good like overview. But a lot of those like other small intricate cues, or like actually like building of a greater storyline, is happening in between those points, and those are the important points that connect the story into a bigger thing.
Oh, that stupid battle where that idiot bearded guy died standing. Ah, so dumb.
Wow, get Ricky.
Do you have a moment? Gunmar and I have been talking.
I'm just teasing though.
Yeah, no, I got that. I had
Okay.
when it was really funny when I watched it the Marineford arc with a friend. I made it very obvious that Ace died. Okay, like I have my apprehensions from watching it because I get so because I mean it's sad, I don't want to see anyone die. But when he came around to asking about like Whitebeard, I was like, oh no, he's fine. Like, said it really like calm and confidently, and he didn't. And then afterwards he was like, I'm kind of impressed you managed to like, sell that to me. Like, I actually believed that. It's just like, I know when to lie.
It's I mean, I don't want it to be Game of Thrones, but it's also annoying to me if you have like an anime that's supposed to have stakes, and in 1,000 episodes, like 2 important characters die.
Yeah. Well, actually, that kind of brings up a really interesting point. So, like with the most recent stuff that's been happening, they've been trying to establish, like Oda's basically has been saying that he's like, hey, people are going to start dying, is basically what he said.
I knew it would come
Yeah.
to this one day. I knew.
And
don't trust that man.
which is fine, but like even in the current storyline, there's like one girl that should be completely dead. Like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's just like, okay, the person's dead, just let them lie, but they're still like, oh, it's still like, oh, they're still alive, there's still a chance they could survive, and it's like, please, like,
Give it to
they've
the
been
person who made
stabbed, like,
Madoka.
just let them die, like.
Yeah. Have you
yeah.
ever seen My Hero Academia?
Do you have a moment to talk?
That also does this very annoying thing that I hate, where they
I got a warm welcome from my father.
like all the main characters are so beloved by all the viewers, like even the shitty ones, that the only way to show stakes is to introduce a new character and let them die.
Yeah.
Like, oh, All Might had this sidekick actually the whole time that All Might's biggest fan never mentioned before. He was really important to him. Oh, he died. Okay. Or they introduced like the 3 new characters at the school that they say, oh, these are the most popular power kids at school,
Yes!
honestly.
And then they fucking, oh my dude, I hate that so much. I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, so
And then they remove the guy's power because obviously, like, they can't remove the power of one guy from the main class, so they have to introduce a new character.
No, I totally agree with that. There was like a thing.
Oh, did I not pull my pants up?
Like, so that arc, where there was the dude, like with Eri, right? The Eri's like her dad or something like that. Whoever that guy is, I can't remember. It really annoyed me that they like brought him in, and I was like, oh, okay, so this guy's gonna be like the next kind of like big hero, like big bad guy, and instead they kill him off in a season, and it's like, okay, now back to the normal hero, like like villains, and you're just like, what? I was just like so upset with that, because I was like, sorry, I thought that there was like a different thing to this.
Like, I thought the point was that, you know, like, there's different people with different power classes, you know, like, another kind of evil to go against the other evil. No. It's just...
It's really inconsistent with stuff. Like, they introduced the what's his name, Aizawa, the teacher. I have no idea how you pronounce his name. In all honesty, I've only read the manga. I haven't seen like an inch of the fucking show. They introduced the teacher and say like, he is really extremely strict. He's known for kicking people out of school.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And then doesn't
like
kick anyone
nothing.
out for once, yeah.
Yeah, never.
It's like, they're the special class.
Bakuga, the guy, has full-on rage fits in class, which, you know, sure, for comedic effect, but they introduce the teacher as this absolute hard ass, and then they have one character who's in hero school, basically like a cop school, and he just stands on his fucking chair and threatens to kill his classmates. Like, how is he still in the fucking cop school? What are you doing? Like, that's not cool.
You know what? That's fair. That's really funny.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way, but absolutely.
Yeah, it's just no stakes at all. And I think they have done the fucking tournament where they say this can determine if you get like moved from this class to the B class or something, and nobody does.
Yeah,
just
no ramifications.
Yeah, nothing. And I got a bit of not emotional whiplash, but thematic whiplash when reading the manga, because like they start introducing stuff as like, oh, actually when you rescue people you have to be really careful with the rubble or you could hurt more people, and you have to be really careful with your powers because it's really easy to accidentally hurt like civilians and whatnot. Like a very realistic way of dealing with
but
the
then
thing.
you never really see that happen in like an active situation.
Not only do you not see that happen, but also like then the next story arc is them like destroying entire cities with their test fights. Like what's like, they have an entire city set up for their class test fights, and they fucking level the thing, and it's no problem. And then they have a very serious moment with like, you know, talking about hero stuff and how important it is, and then wacky animal characters, and then have the fucking, what's her name, Erin, the little girl, and
Erin, I
this
love
whole
her. She's so cute.
Yeah, but like her story is like a whole abuse story, like physical abuse, not and they show the guy who's in charge of her, who can like explode people, like he violently and bloody like kills people by exploding them, and then a school festival. Like, it's like, pick a theme. It's okay to have like lighter moments, but do you want to be dark and edgy, or do you want to be like light-hearted slice of life, or like do you want to be like a serious hero show, or do you want to be like a Dragon Ball show where you're completely over the top with the powers? Like, it's trying to do everything.
Okay, but you need to understand, like you don't want everything to be dark, you know, like
No, of course not.
Like I know I'm
said...
relating this back to like One Piece and like, but like obviously like One Piece, like I think actually no, not just One Piece, just like a lot of animes like to go kind of wibbly wobbly around, because you don't want to keep things consistently dark, because that's not what people are about, that's not what people are there for. And yes, I agree, it does seem weird that she just went through all of these traumatic events and suddenly it's like, oh yeah, no, it's okay. Like, but
not
like
just
there
that,
should be
you
more of an
also...
adjustment period, I guess.
Yeah, but you also, like, in order to have effective sad moments for your characters, you need them to be happy first.
But I mean,
have you ever played Have you ever?
Just
No,
some
no,
of it,
no.
right?
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. Why it shouldn't be one tone the entire time. Have you ever played Final Fantasy 13?
You are a very welcome addition to
No.
this dreary place, my friend.
Final Fantasy 13 has this character called Lightning, and Lightning is
That's the pink-haired girl,
miserable.
But you,
Yeah, and she's like, I hate everyone, everything is shit. You want to date my sister? I hate you, everything. Like from the start, she's this grumpy, never smiling, very I hate everything character. And then something horrible happens to her sister.
Serana.
And
Yeah, okay, go. Sorry.
oh, you're stuck. Go the other way.
Yeah, no, the
Oh, you go
person was
through.
on the other side.
So something horrible happens to Lightning's sister, and then we see Lightning go like, "Oh, this is horrible. Something horrible happened to my sister. I'm suffering so much." And like, this has no emotional impact because you went from grumpy and sad to grumpy and sad. Like, you need to show us like happy living with your sister, best buddies first before you fucking show us your sister getting turned to stone and that affecting you. Like, if you fucking hated your sister and your sister fell down the stairs, you wouldn't be like, oh no, what an impact on my life.
I mean, you would. I like even then. You
Not
know,
if
you
you fucking
that.
hate her.
Yeah, but you shouldn't hate him. I mean, I'm just saying
Yeah, but
there's instances where something like that does happen, and they do they're like, oh no, they do feel the pain from it. They're not completely heartless, but I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
Like there's no
but-
there's no actual change from like a happiness to like this horrible thing has happened and it's dramatically impacted you from this point onwards.
So I'm not saying like a Hero Aka should be like dark and gritty the entire time, of course not. But it needs to work better on going from one to the other. You can't just turn fucking have this child abuse storyline with all the horrible murder and like what she got like injured over and over again and then repaired.
Yeah.
And
What did you need?
then they have a fun school festival storyline. Like that doesn't work. You can't like follow that up with each other.
Wolf says IRL, yes, some impact in game. It doesn't feel like there are any impacts to gameplay. With Lightning being upset. Is that what you're talking about?
Good. The elf
I'm not sure what he's talking about.
was Mallory willing to
That's why I'm verifying.
but moving on to business.
And I
Well,
kind of understand what
oh
you mean. Like
yes.
I've always talked
And
about
they
with
say
Adara. You know,
romance is
I like to.
Her name is
I
the
like for
wedding
there
is-
to be like an overall
Vigi,
story and
now
like
go.
like some idea of
And
it
give
kind of
my
like
best to
leading
the
on,
bride.
let's say, right? But My Hero Academia, like I love My Hero, but there always seems
Off to
like
solitude with you. Time to give the Emperor
it always
something
feels like they you can tell the arcs. I think like obviously it's fairly obvious with arcs with most of them, right? Like it's on a particular island, it's on a different planet, whatever. But like because it's so much more obvious because it's like, oh, this is the arc where they're attacked by the evil people, and then oh, it's the arc where they have like it's just all school stuff, and then they have the arc where they're attacked by the normal people. Like it keeps going back and forth. It's not actually and because they're still stuck in school, right? They're still in their only first year of school. And you want to sit there and be like, can't we like skip to them being in third year? You know, like after they've learned and like it progressed more, get to the end of third year so you actually get to see a bit more of that progression into like actually going to New World rather than consistently having that idea of, oh, they can go out into the world and they
And
like
kill the little
and then-
pervert with the bolts on his head.
yeah, the dude, the stain dude, the blood stain dude, like they go out and defeat him, but they can't tell anyone because if they do, you know, like they get in trouble for it because they're not qualified heroes. Like it's stuff like that where you're just like, oh come on, just give them the recognition
Yeah.
they deserve.
That's a lot of it. Like,
Yes, in a sense. Okay.
it sets up a lot of like rules that the characters then ignore.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Also, another thing is, like I said at the start, they introduce it as you have to be really careful with your powers. You can actually hurt people. Like this is very dangerous. And then they just have kids throw fireballs at each other, and
my God.
like Bakuga,
Yes.
like he has explosion hands. He would kill people. He would. Like, because I remember when the training sequence when they had to fight
Yeah.
against robots and like, okay, sure, but this doesn't take into account like non-combat hero stuff, and
Well, the idea is they're probably doing that in class, but yeah.
yeah, but it's also, and like it's weird and like. What are you doing and why are you fighting them and why is this like it's trying to do everything. And I got into the manga because I thought it's gonna be all like, oh, like they're setting this up as like this is a realistic hero thing. What if you were actually had superpowers? Like how would that be regulated? And then like 20 chapters later it's just no, it's just fucking Naruto with like school kids instead of ninjas.
If I may say so, you sound like the type of person who would love superpowers. I don't know if you've. It's like I have a friend who introduced me to the book. I haven't finished it yet, and he's so mad at me that I haven't. The books are really thick. You need to understand. Like, but there's this book series called Superpowers by Drew Hayes, and like the whole premise is basically.
Are you trying to sell me on YA?
I'm talking about a book.
Yeah, YA, young adult novels. It's a subculture like Ready Player One and that stuff.
Yeah, sure. Basically,
Yeah.
But it is that idea where it's basically all of My Hero Academia. Where's the anime? It's basically all of My Hero Academia. Like it's like My Hero Academia, but it has all of those concerning aspects of it. Oh, that's a nice.
Sure. I'm not really much into YA novels.
That's fine. I was just saying like that's closer to the level of stuff.
I do like Harry Potter. I was obsessed with Harry Potter for a long time. But then Rowling turned out to be an absolute monster. So
Yeah.
that's not cool.
It's sad, like, and I say it's sad because I know for a fact I'm still so excited about the next Fantastic Beast movie. Like,
Oh,
I hate
why?
the
The
person-
last ones were so terrible.
I know, but it makes me so much more kind of interested in seeing where it goes because I know that, like, I watched the first one, nothing made sense. I watched the second one and I was like, oh, the pieces
Even
are
less
slowly
sense.
Yeah, well, it made less sense, but like I realized that all of these pieces are starting to interconnect.
No,
And,
no,
and, like, I
no.
believe. I want to believe. Okay, I know J.K. Rowling's trash, and I don't want to support any of her work. But I like.
The fucking
I want to know the storyline.
Wings. The lady that can read minds and is in love with a Muggle character.
What's wrong with that? You racist.
She talked to the wizard Nazi, who was like, oh, actually, we have to subjugate the Muggle characters, and the mind-reading character that's in love with a Muggle is like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like,
Oh, shit,
why
sorry.
does she follow him? Like,
I don't
she
understand
should
either.
hate him. It's also, it's so It's so bad. It's so bad. And like they still refuse to show Dumbledore as gay. Like why? Like, oh yeah, Dumbledore is gay. Sadly, I couldn't put it into my books because like the books were already over when I announced it.
Yeah.
Oh hey, but the new movie is coming out. You can show it in there.
I haven't done anything.
No. Like, fucking, is he gay or is he not? And instead of like just saying he can't bring himself to fight against his old lover, they have this fucking, oh, we made a pact that we can't attack each other, so I have to send people instead of going myself. It's... Also, when they break him out of prison, that scene... I hate this movie so much, Wings, I'm sorry.
It's really funny to me because I really loved the second one. I really did.
They break him out of prison. They break Grindelwald out of prison while he is like in the carriage, in the fucking air carriage, and in the middle of the carriage thing, you realize, oh, that's not actually Grindelwald. That's the guy who drank Polyjuice potion, and then Grindelwald is actually the one that comes to rescue him. Why? Why is he rescuing a random henchman? Why is he already out of prison?
No, the point...
Was he never in prison?
No, the point is that he stopped him from... the point is that he was really dangerous and they had to make sure he didn't get out, right? But by the time that they came around to like transport him to Britain, I can't unlock this. He had already switched places. Like,
yes, but
like
why is he coming back to rescue his replacement?
No, he's not like rescue. Like it's kind of implied that it happens as this is happening, right? Like he switched places with the dude. He uses his silver tongue, as they say, to convince him to sit in his spot and pretend to be him, and in order to find an easy way to escape, basically, but also drama.
Yes, but he, like, the point is, when we start with the movie and we see Grindelwald in his cell, that's already not Grindelwald. That's already his henchman, or whatever, like, pretending to be Grindelwald.
Maybe he... maybe he struggled.
We start with a prison break scene for a guy who's not in prison. He's just flat out not in prison. Why do we have a prison break scene?
Oh, he hasn't left the place.
He has what?
Look, I'd have to watch it again and piece it apart, my logic in my brain. I can't say for sure right now.
Honestly, there's no logic to it. It's weird.
I think there's logic to it.
And
I never thought that.
You can't even say that, oh, he cares about his loyal follower, because there's this whole scene where he's sitting in the carriage and what was it, the fucking animal, was it a lizard or something that he has with him? He calls it loyal because it like sticks to him, and then he just throws it out of the window and kills it. So clearly he doesn't care about loyalty. Like they establish, he doesn't care about a loyal being. He will kill it anyway for no reason. So why would he come after the follower that replaced him instead of letting him sit in prison?
Well, again, like it's kind of implied that he hasn't actually escaped at that point.
No, it's fully implied. If you watch the scene, like the guy who sits in the cell is already not Grindelwald, having drank Polyjuice potion to look like Grindelwald, and then during the escape, the Polyjuice potion wears off, and the real Grindelwald rescues the fake Grindelwald, which means the real
only lasts an hour, so that means
it
it all would
doesn't
have
last
happened
very...
within the hour. And he's got to make it
That's
look
why
realistic. Like, he wanted to have a clear shot way out of that. Like, someone might have figured out something. So, and like, as I said, maybe he likes to be dramatic. He wants to, like, have an epic exit.
That's why it runs out during the escape scene, during the fight. But it does mean that when we start the movie, Grindelwald is already not in prison.
This is bad.
That's what I said when I watched this movie.
That's fair.
And also, oh, the fucking idea that Nagini is a fucking Asian woman. Kill me. Like, it's already such a shitty stereotype to have, like, oh, subservient Asian woman kind of thing.
And then it's like, hey, she's even more subservient. Not to mention,
Yeah.
is it just me that it really annoys me that they set her up very clearly at the end of the first movie to end of the second movie, sorry, that she is she's on the good side, right? But obviously she becomes a part of the bad side at one point because I guess she turns into a snake and he uses his snake tongue to like convince her to join their side. Like, I'm just sort of like wouldn't it be cooler to see her be like, to see her have a conscience, you know, rather than, I guess, like, being subjected to her fate. Oh god, I should have said.
Also, J.K. Rowling flat out lying that she always had planned for Nagini to be like this. And like, no you fucking didn't, you filthy liar. There's no way when you wrote the first book you thought, oh, the snake is actually a person. I'm just not gonna mention it over the next 20 years.
Yeah. Well, I kind of... Because it doesn't make sense. Because it, like, obviously the idea is they can talk to snakes and that's it. Like, it's not supposed to be any sort of like fancy spell or anything.
But also, she's in a like freak show circus that Wizard watch, the Wizards watch. But why would a wizard be impressed with a person turning into a snake?
That's a good point. Like Animagus.
Yeah, like they're from what I understand, Animagus are not like, oh, everyone is an Animagus. But they're also not like, oh, you only see one every 100 years. If you study pretty hard, apparently you can do it.
But also, that completely neglects the fact that, Padfoot, like the, James, Sirius, and
the Marauders.
All of them. Literally, like, they figure out a way to turn themselves into Animaguses just for the sake of Lupin. And that, again, like, that completely, like, forgets the fact that, like, obviously there have been quote-unquote illegal Animaguses, which doesn't make any sense. Why are they illegal? Why are they illegal? Because, you know, wouldn't having more Animaguses help with, I don't know, like, recon or something? Anyway,
well, I mean, apparently there's like a government program where they need to keep track of who's what Animagus.
Exactly.
I don't know why, but
like, why? Why? Because they're paranoid that they're gonna do something bad. Like, they can't keep track of that sort of thing.
Apparently, it's a very weird system. But yeah, this is a world where not only Animagus exists, but like, you can also just fucking, with a spell, turn somebody into an animal. Like, fake Mad-Eye Moody turned Malfoy into a ferret for fun and kicked him around. And like, why would you go to a zoo where somebody turns into a snake? Oh, she turns into a snake, okay, cool. It's like, hey, watch me drive a car. I can drive a car.
Hear me out. There was less forms of communication back then? Maybe, you know, like...
No, they have flu powder and can apparate all over the world.
I guess that's fair. I was gonna say, like, maybe you could be, like, in the past at least, like in the past there was less newspapers, less like TVs and broadcasting of that sort of information, so maybe you could justify that that sort of communication wasn't possible. But yeah, no, it doesn't make sense. To anyone who's probably gone to at least Hogwarts, they should at least know about it.
Yeah, or just fucking you. I guess theoretically, as a muggle, you could use flu powder even. Like, you wouldn't even have to be magic. So, getting information wouldn't be super hard. Also, a point I stole from Brendan Lee Mulligan. They are fucking wizards, and their main form of communicating is sending messages by owls, and owls are nature's slowest bird. Literally the slowest bird in nature.
I gotta verify this. Are you calling them owls instead of owls?
Owls, yeah, because I can't speak English.
No.
Okay.
My original.
I have a couple words I can say.
Okay.
Owls.
All I had hoped was to capture Mercer alive.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Mercer
I
must be
never
brought before the guild.
I never heard anyone actually call them
before
owls
both of them
before.
were loved.
I understand what you say, so that's all that matters.
Yeah,
The only outsider
I can
there
talk.
were three of
By the way, like,
All I have is my
what
looks.
is your
them.
accent?
Now, here, take these as well.
The secret, obviously.
Secret. Okay, that's fine. Just like, I don't know, like, kind of reminds me of Ara's accent. But I'm pretty sure you've mentioned that you're from like America or something, and Ara's from
Do I sound very American?
European, huh?
Do I sound very American?
No. I just got the impression.
What do you think the chances I'm from America then?
I don't know. Minimal? I never said I was smart.
Yeah, minimal.
Okay.
It's all looks with you, clearly.
I don't. Okay. Listen, I don't understand this stuff. Shh. Okay. So theoretically, you might actually be from the same place as Ara, and that would make a lot of sense. Theoretically.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I have no idea where Ara is from.
Okay. I'm trying to remember which country. If I looked at a map, I would know.
Country? Who can speak now?
Is it Netherlands? Is it Norway? No, I think it's Netherlands. My brain's also like, but Denmark? I don't know. I don't know which one it is. But like around there.
It's none of those, so I win.
You win. Okay. Alright, well, that's fine. I don't expect people to have to tell me or anything. I don't think, has this always been here? I don't think so. I think this is DLC. I'm gonna go. Dude, after like basically hyperventilating over One Piece, I feel so short of breath. Dude, just don't get me onto the, like, unless you like actually want
One
me to
Piece
like
is shit,
genuinely, unless you want me to genuinely explain the entire like storyline of One Piece or like update you on information in it, like don't. I'm gonna go off it. I'm gonna go mad, bro.
No. I really couldn't care about One Piece, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm just the point was just basically like gonna
But no, all these animes have the same thing in common, that they're way too long and you can cut way too much out of it. And like even One Piece, I know you love that it's all connected in some way, but you can just snip a lot of these connections out and like it wouldn't matter. It honestly wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
Like no, because the important story of One Piece, like
But it is connected.
The thing.
What if the One Piece ends up being the hat, okay, that we saw hinted at the bottom, like, or like is connected to the hat, and that the celestial dragons have, and the hat is used to actually change the entire surface of the world in the blank century, okay? Because we know the hat is tied to the blank century, so you have this really big thing about how the blank history was related to What the hell was that? Sorry, I was sounding game. Is related to
Well, if that's the case, then that means you can just take other story arcs out of it completely.
why? They all build on it in different ways and hint at it, and as we said, the
Yes,
power
but
building.
you don't
like,
need them
we
all.
have to have Luffy. Luffy started off as a tiny 17-year-old boy. He has to grow up and go through shit and actually evolve his powers, and like, he didn't know what fucking hockey was, and he had to go through a really traumatic event in order to find out about it, and you know, like, and now he can build on his abilities in different ways, and that's where you get fourth gear, and that's where you get weird combinations of different things with fourth gear, and probably a fifth gear eventually, like you know, really.
I'm on a pilgrimage to the
But
shrine of
like I said, you can find things to do that. You can find ways around that. Like the important bit
Finding ways
about
around
one.
it, like that's going against what One
No,
Piece
I know you
is.
like it.
It's-
I'm trying to say the important thing about One Piece is that we have pirates that sail around on ships and become good friends and want to find the One Piece, the big treasure. And like how you get there is largely like you can do it in so many different ways. And you don't need like a million interconnected storylines to get to that point.
What?
I know, truth hurts, it's painful.
Fucking, you can describe everything. Harry Potter is about a guy who grows up and defeats Voldemort. Who the fuck? It doesn't matter what he does in all of the in-between years.
No.
Lord of the Rings is about going to throw a ring into the fire. It doesn't matter how they get there. That's what you're basically saying.
No, the point is, you have important character beats in between like those start and end points.
Wait,
But you have
and One Piece doesn't?
Of course it does. But I'm saying not every beat is equally as important.
Yes?
Okay, that's fair, but also, like, it's good to have the funny parts, and the lovely parts, and the sad
Yes.
parts. It's a fucking story. Like, you can't just be like, you can't summarize and be like, oh, you can get to point 1 to point A. That's throwing apart, like, the entire point of, like, the essence of the storyline is the people and the experiences they go through, like, and the fun times they have and the sad times they have. Like, you can't, you're just summarizing the story in its most basis form without considering the entire implications of all of the things that you find out throughout the storyline. I just don't understand what you're saying. I'm gonna have a fit. You'd laugh at me. I don't.
No, it's like I said, I'm not
Beans.
saying literally throw everything out. I'm just saying that you don't need it to be that long. Like imagine for Harry Potter, like
That is fair. It doesn't have to be that long. But it's amazing that it is, because people still love it and enjoy it, and that's what matters. People haven't gotten tired of it.
Yeah. Like I imagine for Harry Potter, like
Oh, okay.
if now like imagine them adding like another reason why Harry actually needs to be in school for 6 more years or something. Like you can do that, and you can find a way to
It's
make it
also
interconnected
a
sense with
movie.
the rest of the story.
It's a live action movie compared to an anime. The point with anime is that it's just fucking...
I'm talking
it
about
just-
books, and both of them are books.
That beautiful Skyrim weather
Okay, and
I was
books.
about.
Okay, that's fair. That's books. But like, still anime. Anime is the point that it's dramatic. It takes its time. It has slow frames. It has fast frames. It has, you know, it has those fucking flashbacks that take 20 episodes, and you sit there and you're like, I understand this is important, but why?
Oh, flashbacks are the least important. Like
okay.
of the one thing that they can kick out for sure is flashbacks. Fuck flashbacks.
Okay, pause. I need to respond to Beans. Hi, Beans. I'm just going insane. Yes, this is the same game, but rehashed. There's, like, mods, and I've been running around trying to find them, and there's pets that you could carry with you if you want. There are different homes you can have, like this place is a home, or this place is a home.
Different homes to the homes you could originally have?
Yes. But
Okay,
also
because I know there were homes in the original.
Yeah. So these are different sort of homes, but they really kind of don't matter. But that's obvious. It's basic. It's just rehashed. It's not anything cool. Anyway, enter. What was the point we were talking about? Yeah, flashbacks. Like, I like flashbacks, but they're definitely typically they're the things that are like, watch it once, never again. That's what I do. Yeah. I always skip over the Sabo, Ace, and Luffy arc, and like the only one I bother to rewatch is Laws because I really like Lore.
Can I help you with anything?
Sorry, Zoro and his girlfriend, like,
Do you have Gallus's problem? No, he's rich.
Like, it's not terrible, like, it's not the end of the world, but it falls into this category of, this is clearly filler. Like, you don't, all you need to know is, like, this is the girl Zoro grew up training with. You don't need to have an actual whole episode to show that training and the intricacies of, like, their relationship. You get it.
I zoned out a little because I was reading the dialogue, but yes.
That's okay.
He just agrees to whatever you just said.
Yeah. You zone out to me talking, I zone out to watching One Piece flashbacks.
Yes. I like backstories. I only ever watch them once. It's not worth watching them twice. Really?
I think
I
Naruto was the worst with that, when they, like, that bad guy's family, and they went like back and forth 5 times whether or not they were bad or good guys.
Oh my god, the whole backstory of Itachi? Fucking Itachi, not Utachi.
He's a good guy. No, he was a bad guy. He was actually a good guy, pretending to be a bad guy.
Dude, I understand people love him because he's originally supposed to be like good, but I hate it. I hate it. Like, I don't understand how anything he does is justified. Not to mention, on top of it, literally Sasuke decides to just make the wrong decision, apparently, and is like, oh, I can't take revenge against Itachi anymore, so I'm gonna take revenge against the elders of the village. Meanwhile, their village has just been fucking decimated, and the dude's like, no, I've still gotta defeat the elders. It's like, I think they've suffered enough. Just stop. What are you doing, Sasuke? I need to finish it. I really need to finish Shippuden to find out what the fuck happens, but I hate it. I hate Sasuke. I hate the whole premise of it. It's so stupid.
Did you ever hear what the original plan for Naruto was?
Nope, I know nothing.
Apparently, the author just wanted to tell a story about this ninja village and this outcast boy that has no friends, and like his life and how he deals with that, and regular stuff. But his publisher told him, no, if you want this to sell, you have to put in girl characters and like a rival, and that's why they exist. That's also the reason why all of the female characters in Naruto, especially the early ones, they are either just tits on legs or what's it called? Like just one-note character traits, like Sakura and the other female characters that you meet early on. Like, they have no personality. They have like one trait. They're either like the one girl, the white eyes girl, is like really timid, and the other character is like really aggressive and whatnot, and that's like their entire character, just one trait, and not at all fleshed out because he was kind of forced to put them in there.
What's this? Sorry, it's just a quest I'm trying to figure out.
Sure.
Yes.
Didn't we do this already? I remember you being here.
Well, I never did it because I never figured out exactly what happens, because here it says, find the assassin on the upper floors of Dragonreach when the Jarl is unoccupied, okay? And before, I didn't even have like a little marker. Like now I have a marker, which is good. But, like, I don't know if he's doing, like, is it this dude? Like, see, he's just kind of doing shit. Like, I don't... Like, it says find the assassin on the upper levels. There's no one up here. Or am I blind? Or... Like, am I supposed to sneak? Am I supposed to just murder? Who am I murdering? I don't know. I was really hoping it was just the person I could just slap their ass.
Yes? What did you need?
But I don't see anyone. Anyway, so what you saw the other day was me walking around in circles being like, where the fuck am I supposed to be going? Do I wait?
What's the name of the quest?
In the shadows. I should probably head to bed soon.
Yeah, you sound pretty tired.
I also really need pee. It gets to that point where it's just like, you don't, either I end stream. Have NPCs always been able to move their legs like that?
Yes? What did you need?
Am I supposed to be on the opposite side looking over here, maybe?
So, I googled it. There's supposed to be an NPC up there.
Is it someone I know,
Who
or is it
is-
just a random NPC?
Apparently there's an elf supposed to be up there, who's hiding with invisibility and supposed to appear once you are in that area.
When you say in that area, you just mean like in the room?
It says when you reach the end of that, like, walkway down, he should appear. Like, it looks like there's nothing, but when you walk all the way down, apparently there's supposed to be like somebody coming out of invisibility.
We're ready, Dragonborn. Just say the word.
I love y'all, Volver.
Keep safe.
Okay, so if I come up here, and then I walk into here. It's ridiculous. It's because Frothdal's here. I don't know. What time is it at least?
Have you tried swinging at where the quest marker is?
I just did.
Okay, I didn't see.
Oh wait. What if I try walking in and out of the room again? Also?
Up for a little hunting? Yes? What did you need?
Old friend. Patron of the great.
Do you have detect life skill?
I'm as much annoyed as the next
I have
man.
Aura Whisper.
No fool.
Yes!
I don't live for that.
Oh, he's there now.
Ray may.
Ah, there you go.
Never should have come here.
Get out of here, mate. Why is the grip green? Cool. Doesn't even have any cool armor.
He just gave you a bow that makes you invisible.
Yeah.
Be thankful.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you for this bow. This bow to form meal.
Damn Stormcloak rebels.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So when are you going to bed? Is it now?
Yeah, probably. Once I finish this quest, I'm probably just gonna head. Because I also want to play some Animal Crossing in bed. And I've already played, what, like, I played, what, 4 hours of this earlier?
We're ready,
serve you.
Dragonborn.
Excellent.
Just
You've
say
done
the
us a
word.
great service.
Um,
Here's your
so I
reward.
think, you know, about 8 hours of this game is enough for a day.
Fair.
I mean, I've gone for longer before. To be
I'm
a
just
14-year-old
kinda,
child again.
I've just been kind of half watching because honestly, Skyrim not really interesting.
Exactly. I'm only watching. I'm not actually playing the game. You think I'm doing anything consciously? No. What's it?
Well, except maybe ranting about One Piece.
Okay, the One Piece. See, that's what I'm paying attention to. I'm not paying attention to what my hands are thinking at all. What my hands are
What
thinking.
your hands are thinking?
Shh. It's fine. Where's this pointing towards? Anyway. But yeah.
I can hear my neighbor singing, and it's very horrible.
Amazing. Oda Vinyada. Howdy, mate.
Dremyolo. There is one who I remember well. Oda. Ah, I forget how little you know of the Dove. Our names are always made up of 3 Rothmulag, words of power. You see, Parthurnax, a thum, a shout, yes? He is not compelled to come, but the Dove are prideful by nature. Few could resist such a challenge.
You okay?
Especially from you, Dovahkiin.
Oh yeah. Just burped.
But Odahviing, he is headstrong, bozik, rash. Even among the Dove, he was known for this.
Sassy.
He now hear his name, Odahviing. Taste it on the wind, Odahviing. Know it in your sum, Odahviing.
Oh, Davi. Yeah. Snow. That's funny. It's Snow Hunter. What's the wind? Wing. Snow Hunter Wing is the translation. But he's not a white dragon. He's a red dragon. I mean, I don't know.
He looks pretty white.
No, that's Parthenax, not Odoving.
Oh. Honestly, I couldn't give a fuck about the dragons in Skyrim. The dragons in Skyrim are like the least interesting part, if I'm completely honest.
Yes?
You've got a point. You've got a very good point. Alright. Oh shit. Okay. I'm gonna finish upstream because I need a pee. That's mainly the reason.
Oh, big wings.
Fingers crossed, people. Diamond and Pearl might arrive tomorrow. Probably not. I'm just gonna sit in bed and cry.
Why didn't you buy them digitally?
I didn't, because I like the physical, and there was a thing where if you pre-ordered it at EB Games, there was a chance you get like if they still have them in stock, you get little like Dialga and the other person, Dialga, like the legendary little figurines. Okay. And Adara and I
You get some trash. Got it.
Yes, I'm proud of my trash, okay? I know, listen, I don't have a lot of, I say that, I have a fucking Pikachu plushie behind me. I'm at that point in my life where, like, hopefully when I get a job, I want to start, you know, actually, like, buying some of those small figurines and, like, making, like, a nice little display case or something. Like, I want to, like, it's one of those things where it's like, people need to know how weeby I am. People need to know how much of a nerd I am. It's very important to me.
They really don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the chat, dude. Even if you're making me have an absolute emotional, and I'm gonna complain about it to my sister all of tomorrow.
I made you too emotional?
No, it's okay. You give me a nice, like, conversation I get to have with my sister. And like
sometimes you have to talk to an asshole to get to talk more with your sister.
we talk enough. No, I don't really get it. I understand that I'm super biased, and that is like, and then you have like your own opinions, and that's perfectly fine. It's just, I also feel like, you know, keep watching or keep reading, or, you know, like, I think you're missing some really big key points. Maybe I want to say, like, that might actually, like, be connecting things a bit more for you. I just, in my brain, it's like,
strong guys and he punches them, I get it.
But then maybe I'm the crazy one, so that's fair.
And
I absolutely probably am, and that's okay. From
my perspective, the Jedi are evil.
They are evil. I've seen that MatPat theory. I totally agree. I hate Star Wars. I don't like anything about Star Wars. I'm sorry. I don't like aliens.
I'm more of a Star Trek thing.
I haven't watched any of Star Trek.
Star Wars had like 12 movies now, and 2.5 of them were good.
Wolves don't hate me. I'm sorry, wolves. As I open up Animal Crossing. I'm sorry, wolves. I never liked them. It's Lord of the Rings. Skyrim is my vibe, okay? A fucking star space. In saying that, Starfield. Fingers crossed for Starfield is good and not a complete piece of trash.
It's not gonna
Bethesda,
be good.
It will be.
Bethesda only makes trash, honestly. They haven't made a good game in decades.
I'm so excited to just buy Starfield and just play it for the pure trash it is. That's all it's gonna be. I'm just gonna watch it for the trash of it.
Sure. You can't shoot down the spaceship. It's essential.
It's essential. Maybe that's why you're not so into Mass Effect. I liked Mass Effect, okay? Mass
Effect 1 was good. Mass Effect 2 and 3 were fucking garbage. Like, straight into the bin. Also interesting.
That is interesting to say, considering most people say they really like 2, but I found 1 kind of bland.
It's bland and a little bit. You have to find the excitement in playing a shooter that is mixed in with an old school style, almost RPG. Also, interestingly, when Wolfsbane types something, I actually see it in your stream before it appears in my chat. Like the chat
Poor internet
delay
connection.
to me is longer than your stream. That's crazy.
That is weird. But yes, Wolves, that is the reason why it took me a while to get into Mass Effect. The delay is all different. Hell yeah. It did take me a bit to get, and I like Mass Effect. I think the thing I really like about Mass Effect is just the people and the cultures is so much more in-depth and interesting compared to something like Skyrim. Like Skyrim, it's like high elves, I don't give a crap. Nords, I don't give a crap. You attack me, I kill you. It's like, you know.
I think you might like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines because it has a lot of like how the society works with the different types of vampires in it. There's a lot of being able to read into it, and I think the way to trick you into enjoying a media franchise is just to have a lot of interconnected points.
I do like my interconnected points, okay? I'm a huge
like,
fan. I'm a communications graduate, what can I say?
It seems like that's what tricked you into liking Fantastic Beasts 2, an absolutely fucking terrible movie.
I love it.
It's so bad.
It is bad because it's J.K. Rowling, but can I just say, I also...
J.K. Rowling can write a decent story, actually, but just that one is...
If I may say so, I do like blanking. I like at least the different perspective of like they're all adults. It's really cool seeing the people, like, because we're used to like the kids and Wingardium Leviosa. It's like, no, it's Wingardium Leviosa. You know, like it's a very kid, very kind of typical way of showing things. Showing things as adults is really cool because they all know that shit. You don't have to worry about whether they say the words or not. They're badasses, and that's kind of cool. It's kind of epic. I'm kind of down about that.
But I feel like Harry Potter is not like it's not a franchise to have badasses in. If you read the original books, it's very like whimsical. Like a running gag about wizards is that they have no idea how to dress themselves. Like they wear the weirdest fucking clothes because they have just no sense for it. And then you watch Fantastic Beasts and everyone is like having like very well tailored suits on and like what's happened to the fucking magic business to like everyone was being like lovable weirdos and now we have this I don't know James Bond magic edition.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna wrap up this conversation. Otherwise, I'm gonna sit here and not go to the toilet. Okay. I'm also opening.
Oh, I'm gonna keep you till you explode.
Yes. Well, probably not. I would leave before then. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be like, all right, you can stay here and I can come back, but I'm not technically supposed to be talking right now anyway. Because
I think you want to wrap up your stream
so I don't get in trouble.
And maybe then go pee and then come back.
Oh, you want to continue talking? Okay.
Sure, if you want to.
No,
I don't know.
I was planning on heading to bed, but we could keep talking. Whatever. let me wrap up stream. Okay.
Yeah, wrap up.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have an excellent day today and tomorrow. I'm back, but also bemused and just in time for you to sleep. Bemused? Why are you bemused? Okay. Rest well. Hello, Astantia. Nice to see you. You're making me drink more water. I've been drinking enough.
Well, you mentioned how you really have to go pee, so of course I'm gonna make you drink water.
Thank you.
I'm evil.
Yes, don't worry. A lot of people do it. It's not the first time. Ooh, what island am I gonna put them on?
Go wrap up your stream.
Shh, it's not. Shh, it's fine. Shh. Let's put them here. Yeah. Sleep well, guys. Take care. Fingers crossed that Diamond and Pearl turns up tomorrow, or at least some point before the end of the week. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to wait till Monday. Besides the point. Take care, everybody, and good night. Bye.
Okay, sleep well.
Good night, wolves. Sleep well, dude. Good luck at work, Astantia, and people and stuff. Okay, bye-bye.